now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Suni and Mo.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Hey, Don on the beat.
I got so many ups.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ups.
so many ups.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ups.
Woo!
What's up, guys? So
Hello.
this is the first comment I see. I for hunger soon. Who knows about your activities? Hey, Big Booty Judy is in the house early.
Judy.
You gotta give her.
Mo, you do it all the time.
Big Booty Judy.
Are you gonna do it?
Hold on, I'll do it right. I'm gonna do it. Hold on, Big Booty Judy. Here we go.
Judy, Big booty Judy. What? Big Judy, Big booty Judy. Big booty, Big Judy, Big booty Judy. Stop, I wanna see you move it. Yeah. Big booty Judy, Big booty Judy. Big booty Judy. That's Big booty Judy. Big booty Judy.
Big booty
Oh my
Judy.
gosh. What's up, you guys? Everybody file in, hit the like button, hit the share button. We got a good show for you tonight. Let us know where you're watching from, what platform, what state. You know the drill. Red is in the house. I see Red Pill in the house.
Auntie
Actually,
Red in the building.
Auntie Red in the building. We need to give her a shout out and a special thanks because it is by her recommendation that we have the guest we have today. And we're going to introduce her to you guys shortly, but we're really excited about this issue that we're going to be talking about. It's a serious issue. It's kind of piggybacking on what we spoke about last week with the Temecula Valley School Board parents. Serious stuff, guys. Serious stuff. And we didn't even get to really finish the conversation, but
No, we didn't.
We got a message from Red Pill, and she was like, you guys heard about what's going on in Chico. Like, it's the same thing. It's just a different issue, kind of a different issue, kind of a same issue. And yeah, this is turning into Mo and Suni expose the school boards.
I mean, you don't really have too many, in my opinion, you don't really have too many shows that show what's actually happening in local areas in the school district, unified schools. Like, you don't really get to hear from the people who are boots on the ground that are actually fighting. We get to see the fallout of it, especially if it's something that goes viral, but you pay attention to it for like 2.3 seconds. And then you know how it is. News days, you're like filtering through stories. Okay, what are we talking about here? Is this important?
Yeah.
You don't really get to find out what's going on in depth. And I'm glad that we do these because I think it makes parents far more proactive than they usually are when you really don't know what they're trying to do in schools unless you go pay attention to these meetings. And I feel bad for parents. I'm just going to say that right now, especially parents that don't have the space to homeschool, because that's one thing that I'll be doing when I get home. I refuse to put my kids in any sort of public schooling that is in the United States. I just can't do it.
For real. Yeah. And I think that that's what the purpose in us doing this show is to inform you guys, because I think some parents are maybe a little bit shy or ashamed that they don't know these things, or like they don't want to ask another parent like what's going on, because they don't want to seem like the parent that doesn't know what's going on. So we have these shows so you can hear that there are parents out there that are really standing on the front line to fight all these woke school boards. Unfortunately, the ones we've been talking about are all in California, but I know that that's not the only place that they're at. We've got some schools here in Texas that are trying to creep in the CRT stuff.
Even in good old Texas, man, ain't nobody, no place is safe.
Nobody.
Jeez.
Nope.
No
They're
place
not.
is safe.
They're
That's
not.
crazy if you think about it. That is so
They're not.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not
And you
even
guys-
safe here.
No, you're not, because you told me you're dealing with the same thing.
Yeah, dude. But I had to go to the school and, excuse me, show my ass. Like, this not what my kids in the school. This is not what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. And that's what you have to do. You cannot be afraid. You're the adult, you're the parent. That's your kid. That's your kid.
Facts, yeah.
You better go to, you better die on that hill. If there's any hill that you're going to die on, it better be the ones that involve your children. I was actually listening to Brandon Tatum last night at UT Arlington, and he was speaking on CRT. And a lady got up. It was an interesting question. This lady got up. She was a mother. She asked a question, and she said, I just want to know, I have young kids. At what point do I start talking to my kids about some of this stuff, like the things that they're going to be exposed to in school?
Mm-hmm.
And some people in the room were like, let them be kids, don't talk to them about this stuff too early. They don't need to know, they're too young.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you got to talk to them right away, because if you don't talk to them, the school is going to talk to them, unless your kids are homeschooled. You know what I mean? So,
Facts.
Unfortunately, that's the times we're living in,
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they don't want parents to do anything about it. I'm actually excited to get to talk to her and ask a few questions, because I want to know how to get involved when I get home. Because, right, even though my kids won't be in that public school setting, not every child has a parent like me that even has time. Most kids who come from a 2-parent home nowadays, both parents have to work. The cost of living is astronomical. So I'm actually excited to be involved and help out in any way, because the youth is done for right now.
Done for
right now. If parents don't step up and do something, then you can just kiss it all goodbye. Sorry. Just be realistic.
And before we make a really cool announcement that we want to tell you guys, I want to tell you, I'm working myself to get more involved into this stuff. And I have been accepted into 2 major groups, okay, that are on the opposite side of this issue. I'm not going to say what they are, because I don't need anybody to out me. But I'm doing that so I can understand what the other side is talking about and what angle they're coming from.
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, Dave made a good point today. He said, everything that they're doing is nothing new. This is communism 101.
Oh, for sure.
And it boggles my mind that we already know the plays, because they're not new plays. They're just like redoing them, right? Regurgitating the same stuff. We already know the plays. Why do we sit back and act like, what do we do? Like, that just blows my mind.
It's like I told you, we were talking. I was like, dude, people are like frogs boiling, right? Everybody is like, dang, it's comfortable in here. It's nice and warm.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone starts to look around like, man, it's kind of hot. You guys hot?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bro, it's kind of hot in here. And then it gets to the point where you're like, you start to panic and you're like, okay, I got to get out. But the pot is already too hot for you to even like use your hands to get out of it. Why didn't you get out when you felt the temperature rising? That would be an indication for me to leave.
Exactly. Except we can't leave, guys. We have to fight.
Yeah.
Speaking of fighting, somebody's asking, why was I in Arlington today? If you were following me on Instagram, I went to a Trump flag wave rally, just to kind of, this is something I go to. I belong to a Facebook group here in Texas called Texas Arlington Train. If you guys want to follow them on Facebook, they have these events all the time. Super fun. So if you guys want to be a part of that stuff, if you want to see me at those events, I'm at those events as much as I can go. They're super fun. We just play music and bring your flags, and they sell merch there, and it's cool. We get a lot of love. A lot of people don't want to come to these things because they're afraid. But there's nothing to be afraid of. People want this country to get better. They're sick of the situation that we're in. So don't let social media fool you into thinking that there's more people that support the other side than there are people that want a good country.
Speaking of, since we're on the topic of children, I want to know if you heard about this. This was like, this really hurt my kids. I don't know how many parents let their kids watch Mr. Beast.
About this.
He's like the biggest YouTuber. He does cool videos where people get to earn money. They do a lot of competitive things. It's just like a super innocent channel where kids just get to watch something and be entertained, right? Slowly but surely, this guy who's on the right, his name is Chris, who had a wife and kid, still does, right? Decided he was going to transition. And it's playing out on the YouTube channel, right? He came out at the Kids' Choice Awards, as you can see right here in the background. Like, dude, you can, like, when I say you have to be on it and proactive, you have to be on it and proactive. As soon as we noticed a shift, as my husband was like, yeah, dude, I started noticing a shift. He was wearing painted nails. He was doing all these things. And, you know, I had to tell my son, because he's a huge Mr. Beast fan, dude. Like,
that's sad.
He knows about Shopify, right? Sometimes he'll come back here and watch me do work. And he's like, oh, Mr. Beast has Shopify. Like, it was like Power Rangers for us to what this guy is for them. And to see it just all go down in flames because of this, once again, movement. You cannot say it's not targeting children, dude. You can't say that anymore.
Yep. It's all it's targeting.
Day in my household, man. Like a sad day.
That is sad.
All bummed out. Yeah.
That is sad because there's nothing anymore that is sacred for the kids. Everything has some of this stuff trying to sneak into it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can't, like I said, you can't let your kids be kids anymore because you got to watch everything.
Everything they do.
Everything. Man.
I was bummed out. I'm like, dang. Gosh. They're going to create an entire generation of, in my opinion, I'm not even going to say the word, but the phobes, all right? They're going to create a generation of children like that, especially coming from homes like mine, where they're annoyed. They're annoyed when they see stuff like this. It's like, I can't watch this now. My son did that the other day. We were watching a magic show. And of course, one of those things comes up and he was just like, I don't want to watch this anymore. Like a simple magic show.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody said my son no longer watches Mr. Beast and he had great content.
He did.
Yeah. I mean, they even did it to Arthur. Arthur, the Aardvark, the cartoon. Like, he had a gay wedding. Like, what? Ugh, I can't.
Arthur was Arthur was dope.
Yeah.
Dang,
I loved Arthur.
Arthur too?
I loved Arthur. Anyways, guys, I don't want to delay any longer, but I do need to say this. So Sudi and I were talking, and, you know, we want to make room for having guests come on our show for us to interview them. And we don't want to like have to split our time between an interview and topics because we know you guys love to hear topics. So we are going to add a second show to our lineup, and it's probably going to be on Tuesday. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be Tuesday, same time, same place. And that will be the show dedicated for us to talk about all the crazy stuff that we talk about normally that's going on in the ever so changing news cycle. And then we can have a dedicated show for, you know, important topics that we want to.
Double dose of Suni and Mo, like twice a week.
Dose. Get ready.
It's going to be fun. Because I'm going to pick the most outrageous stories ever.
Yes. And dial up your therapist now because a double dose of Suni and Mo might just put you in the loony bin. Because I know I got to come back with Mind to Mo. You know what I mean? Like, I know I've been slipping on Mind to Mo, but you guys have to understand my mind doesn't always think these crazy things like this. So I know you guys miss. I have the Mind to Mo wig and turban back there. You know, me and Sudi's crazy skits. Like we have all these things. We have all these things we want to do and be silly for you guys. But then we also have like serious stuff that we want to touch on as well.
Yes. This is why I'm not even going to say it out loud. We'll keep it behind closed doors. But, you know, it would be nice to have a producer just saying. But you can't because a lot of producers are just whacked out crazy out here. So,
yeah.
Looks like it's just us in a game, pal.
Yeah. So it's us. All right. So I'm going to get started because we've been chit-chatting a long time. Let me just first tell you what it is we're going to be talking about. So I mentioned we have a guest today. She's a parent from the Chico, California area. And I don't know if you guys have heard about it in the news, but Chico Unified School District has been going through a major, like, I want to say argument about this whole privacy or non-discrimination and harassment privacy policy, where essentially they want to, or they already are, keeping it a secret from parents
Yeah.
when the child comes to a teacher or a school administrator and says, I don't think I was born in the right body. I think I am a girl, or I think I'm a boy. And I don't want to tell my mom and dad. So the school keeps it private. And Suni here is pulling up the policy. But I'm going to read really quick a story here from the KRCR News, and this was back on April 6th, and it was regarding a lawsuit that came, and it claims a local elementary school forced a child to change genders without parental knowledge. Aurora Regino, who spoke during public comment, is suing Chico Unified School District, and she claimed that her 11-year-old daughter told a Sierra View elementary school counselor she felt like a boy. 11 years old, okay?
Crazy.
Her daughter was then allegedly given, listen to this, her daughter was given a boy's name and identity the same day.
Wow.
So she goes into the office and she's like, hey, I think I'm a boy. And they're like, okay, let's come up with your name and let's come up with your identity. Okay. The school.
See.
Listen to this. So the case has sparked debate not only in Chico, but around the nation about parental rights and school guidelines. Chico Unified Board member Matt Tennis began the meeting decreeing that hundreds of thousands of dollars spent by the district over the lawsuit, and that the board should come to a middle ground with Regino. Tennis pushed for the rights of the district to maintain transparency with parents regarding their students. Congressman Doug LaMalfa, who also spoke at the meeting in favor of Regino, has introduced a Parental Bill of Rights Act to give parents more access to information about their child's gender identity. Like, while I appreciate that, does that not sound crazy to you that they have to introduce a bill to give a parent the right to know what the hell is going on with their own child?
Yeah.
Like, that sounds ludicrous.
That sounds crazy. By the way, thank you to Teresa Warner for the super chat. Appreciate you.
Nice. Thank you, Teresa. We appreciate you.
That's nuts.
So Suni had pulled up the policy, but I'm going to read this for you guys. I'm going to pull it up on the screen because I want to play some clips before we bring our guest in, just to kind of give you an idea of what it is we're talking about here. Oh, can we remove this little thing on the right-hand corner?
Sure.
So we can just read this. So there's two policies here. So this is Administrative Regulation 5145.4. And this is in regards to student privacy. And it says here, upon determining that a student seeks to communicate about the student's gender status, the staff person shall, in the following order, initiate the completion of, with the assistance of the student, the district's gender identity intake form, including a discussion with the student to share the student's gender status to the student's parents and guardian. If the student grants consent for the disclosure to the parent and guardian, the staff person shall suspend further communication with the student about their gender status until parents can participate in the discussion, except where delay in further discussion would cause a risk to the student's mental or physical safety or well-being. So I guess that's if they determine it's like a life or death situation and the student's going to...
And how is that determined? Like, what? Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Yeah, I want to know too. And maybe our guest can tell us exactly what the details are of that. But the next part of it is the parental inclusion part of it. Okay. So it says, should the student decline to grant consent for disclosure to the parent or guardian, the staff person shall determine whether there are reasons to withhold disclosure from the parent based on risk to the student's mental or physical safety. So basically, if they're not like we welcome you, whatever gender you want to be, pat them on the head, bring them whatever clothes they want to wear, help them get their toenails painted, whatever it is. I guess that's how they're viewing not being supportive. Such reasons may include, by way of illustration and not limitation, a history on the part of the student's parent or guardian of violence, intimidation, threats, hate, bullying, other adverse conduct or verbal expression, a verbal or nonverbal reaction by the student that causes a staff person to
Jesus.
believe that the
This
student's
is-
gender status will cause the student to experience harm or to engage in any act or self-harm. Should no circumstances be identified, the staff person shall initiate communication with the parent
Wow.
within 3 days. That's crazy to me.
I mean, you want to know what's even more crazier? You want to know what's crazier? Is the fact that this was a teacher at the school district, right?
Mhm.
If this is going on at the school and this lady was accused of causing some sexual harm to children in the
Mhm.
school,
Mhm.
and then you're telling parents to, hey, it's okay because we're going to leave it up to the teacher's discretion on whether it's an actual problem or they have a valid reason. What? What?
Right.
Like, this
Right.
is going on at your school. Why would I trust you to make any decisions? And let alone, even if this is not going on at the school, why do teachers want to make choices for children that are not theirs? Like, what is this weird obsession with you having access to children that you didn't birth, bro? Like, it's
Mhm.
just weird. But you know
It
what?
is
I'm
weird.
that FAFO parent, and I wish
Yeah.
somebody would.
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah.
I will take that jail sentence and go down. Trust
Yeah.
me, because some of these teachers, I feel like a lot of these people need to learn the hard way. You cannot just fuck around with people's children. Sorry. But this stuff
Mhm.
pisses me off, dude. That's
Mhm. Yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah. And here we have somebody who was there. Tom said it was 7 hours of hell. I think it was even like 8 hours. This meeting went 8 hours. Okay. And they didn't even get to this topic here until I think 5 hours in. And I
Look
think
at
they had
I'm sorry.
45 speakers. 45 speakers.
Can we talk about the people in the front?
Let's talk about it.
Never apologize for what?
Never apologize for you, I think it says.
You
Yeah.
look like a sex offender, bro. What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay,
shut up.
this is what bothers me though, is like the age limit that they have here is like 11 years old, right? This is what they're starting with. When I was 11 years old, I didn't think my parents understood me either, right? So if anybody would ask me, do you think your parents would be supportive of you wanting to be, oh, I don't know, a
Right.
rhinoceros? Okay, like let's just say I was like, I think I'm a rhinoceros. Do you think your parents are going to be supportive, Mo? No, they're not. My parents are so out of touch. You know,
Yes.
they hate everything I do. They never let me do anything. They never let me out of the house. I literally used to write letters to my mom. I told you this, Suni, where I would like pretend to run away just to like manipulate them emotionally. And I would go like hide in the closet and I'd be like, you don't love me. Cause I'm Hispanic and they used to hit me. And so I was like, you're abusive. You don't love me. I'm
Oh my
running away. And then
gosh.
I go hide in the closet and like peek out to see if I had like managed to manipulate them. No, I would hear my dad crack that belt and he'd be like, when I find you, it's over.
Hilarious.
It's over. So, real quick. So I was going to show a clip from the meeting and I will show a clip from the meeting, but I'm going to let our guest kind of guide us through that because I don't want to make her wait any longer. And I want to bring her into the discussion because I'm excited to have her here. So real quick, I'm going to tell you just who we have with us. So we have Nicole Nobbin. She sent me this really great biography about her. I really appreciate when people send us this stuff because it helps us, right? So Nicole has been married to her high school sweetheart. You guys have that in common. And best friend for 34 years. And they have 2 adult children. She loves traveling with her husband, reading, music, soccer, and playing with her chocolate lab. Cocoa? I don't know. The English language sometimes, y'all put letters in there that I don't understand. Cocoa. SUNY will be back. She's having problems. She was a prior city council candidate, co-founded the Facebook group One Chico and Save Our Chico, if you guys want to join that. She previously served as an admin and co-founder of Chico First, has worked in social services for 24 years, supporting government staff and their customers through challenging times, was awarded 2018 Community Woman of the Year for her advocacy efforts, and completed the Citizens Fire Academy. She was instrumental in a part of a small group who lobbied successfully at the Capitol for $5 million to alleviate impacts from the devastating Camp Fire, and earned her bachelor's degree with honors in business administration. She's just in it, y'all. There's so much more here I could read to you about her, but I'm going to bring her in since we're losing SUNY, but she'll be back. She's trying to fix her computer. Nicole, welcome to the show. Sorry we took so long to get to you.
Hey, no, I was fascinated. Thank you. I love listening.
Thank you. Everybody in the chat, say hello to Nicole. Welcome her. I hope I did the information I gave justice, kind of about what's going on here at this meeting. You were in attendance at that meeting.
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much needed a sleeping bag.
So you just wait. I mean, because they talked about, I listened to the entire meeting, by the way, y'all. We don't just listen to clips around here. SUNY and Mo listened to all the meeting. And It wasn't until the end that they got to this subject. So just jump right in and tell us what it was like there that day at this meeting.
Honestly, it was kind of surreal. I had an inkling that it wouldn't be great, because that was like 3 meetings I'd been to. And full disclosure, my kids are grown. And so I had been asked by some friends to go because, you hear this, do you have skin in the game? You don't have skin in the game. And I'm about to tell y'all something here. Take off the ear things if you're out there and you're like distracted multitasking. Everybody has skin in the game. I'm so tired of people sitting down. Like, I'm tired of, you can be a keyboard warrior if you're contacting representatives and you're like taking action. But if you're just bitching to me and you don't do something, you need to wake up, because these are everybody's kids. So I don't care if my kids are out of the system, and you're going to hear that they weren't really all the way out of the system that night. There's a little bit of bomb dropping tonight. But what the reality of this is it doesn't matter. Everybody's kids are our kids. We need to protect children. And when you've got a school district that thinks it's super cool to be so woke that you are going to be subversive and keep information from us about our kids, like, hell no. Right. So y'all need to get your skin in the game. The time was already years ago, and a lot of us weren't awake yet. And now, we are. So maybe take the power of the word woke back, because we need to wake up and double time it to catch up. And what you probably guys saw when you watch, and my God, props to you guys for watching the whole meeting. Dang. Because you had a choice to skip ahead. We didn't. And it was brutal. So for those who didn't see, I guess what I'll paint the picture is, I hit the door. I had been warned, careful, you're going to walk through like chaos. Well, thankfully I had to get there a little late. And so it was busy out front, but they weren't targeting me, because the main people were inside that I knew would try to come at me. But then I hit the door, and this guy, who I at the time did not recognize because he has his mask on. Pandemic's over, newsflash. And unless you're sick, why do you have that on in there? But to me, it's now a tactic to hide who you are when you can't stand for your truth and put your name out there, and you're snagging a woman on her way into a meeting, and you're not on camera, and people aren't seeing you, and you do that. Yeah, you're not a nice person, and you're trying to hide who you are for a reason. And that's what he did. And he grabbed me, and he said something like, he didn't physically grab me. He like verbally said, you know what? You're going down hard tonight. You are going to lose big. All right, big man, whatever. And so then I recognized him, saw his eyes. Thankfully, somebody had blocked years ago. Then he got more aggressive, sorry, with another man that was sitting, came up over him, literally puts his phone in his face and starts pulling up stuff on a completely unrelated topic about homelessness to say, you got blood on your hands, something like this. It was so out of line. Told him multiple times politely, please, I don't want to engage with you. Go sit down. Please get away from me. Please get away from me. I had to finally, after he just kept at us, call security, which they don't have security. So then it was this whole thing about interrupting the meeting, which I'm sensitive to because I feel like I have a target on me when I do something like that. And
Yeah.
I was not trying to start anything. We literally were civil. And I know some of these, I'm seeing some names here of some people who were in the meeting or directly sought after. I am not exaggerating one iota. We were subjected to boos, heckles, called Nazis, fascists, bigots. They yelled when we were up at the podium. You can hear them interrupting us, where to the point where you're constantly having to turn around. Where is my time? Why aren't I getting my time back? We did none of that during theirs. We sat quietly and respectfully. And maybe that's part of our problem. And when I lost my doo-doo when I talked, and you can ask me about that later, but I was trying to say, we're so nice. And they're like jeering and laughing at that. And it's like, it's because, we try to be good humans and golden rule. And it feels like you're losing that battle when it happens. Yeah. And somebody's commenting about Congressman LaMalfa was booed. Like, they have zero respect for the representatives there. You saw that with what happened after the transgender school shooting when they took over. Was that like the Capitol? Was that somewhere in Tennessee? That it was like a crap fest. And it's like, what is happening? Why can they point out something on one side that somebody does, and then something literally identical can happen, and all of a sudden, no, it's a different rule. So I'm done, and I'm trying to figure out. I have thoughts. I mean, honestly, parents, if you're out there and you're listening, I'd yank my damn kids out in a heartbeat. I would be first, though. I would try to go in nice and talk to the teacher and say, as you probably heard, here's what you guys are being told your policy is. Do you plan on cooperating and keeping secrets if my child comes to you? What's your position on this? And I would be super respectful. And I'm not saying I want anybody to assume the teacher's going to do anything. Go in there and ask that. Now they have an opportunity. They're either going to say yes or no, or try to provocate. If it's provocating, then you can take that to the bank. It's a yes. So you've got a choice now. Now you know. So either yank your damn kid and put them in a class where the teacher's not going to cooperate, or yank them all the way out of that school and figure out a homeschool co-op. Because I'm here to tell you, it's everywhere. We're in Northern California, NorCal, and this is what we deal with. I don't know what you guys are having over there, but I hear it's not good.
I want to say this, and I'm going to show two clips. I'm going to show one clip from somebody who is pro this privacy thing, and one clip from somebody who on your side that was not pro. But here's the things that I noticed, and I'm seeing it in the comments here, right? I noticed the way that even the board up front was treating people on each side differently. The microphone, when your side would get up to speak, everybody's microphone seemed to be lowered. My husband is an AV person, and he immediately picked that up, and he said they're lowering their microphone so that they're not as heard, because the minute somebody from the other side would get up, it was super loud, super loud. And you're right, they would get booed. The people that were kind of running the meeting were calling for order, right? Not when their side was getting rowdy, but when your side was getting rowdy. And it was like a total double standard. It was a total double standard.
It was bad. And that was a meeting a couple ago. What was interesting is Rowdy for us was saying, we need help, we need security and whatever, or, hey, can you leave me alone? And then the board president would come in. So we got 3 board majority. Before you show that clip, just so people get it, there's 3 board majority who are, to me, off their rocker. They're just so far over the edge. And then there's the 2 that tried to hold the line. Rebecca Conkin and Matt Tennis were trying to hold the line and say, this isn't right, about the no secrets thing. And the other 3 feel it's okay, and it's their right at the school to take over as parents, apparently.
Yeah.
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 And she didn't
So
take control of that meeting, just so you know.
that's the one that was running the meeting, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Caitlin Dalby. Yep.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and play some clips here. Hold on one second. Let me just make sure I'm sharing my audio so people can hear this. So this first clip I'm going to show is and hopefully I have it at the right time. Might be a couple seconds off. Is Lorraine Johnson, and she's pro the not telling parents about their kids. So she's on the LGBTQ side. But I'm going to play her thing. It's a couple minutes, and then we're going to play another gentleman, Sean Mossman. So here we go.
Whether we like it or not, there's a lot of kids out there who fit this profile. And social services is woefully underfunded, understaffed, and under-equipped to help them all. This leads me to my next concern. There's a great deal of confusion around the different types of transitions for a transgender individual. There are two important transition types. The first is social transition. In social transition, the trans individual may begin by asking for different pronouns and a different name to be used. They may also begin dressing or wearing their hair in a way that more closely resembles the gender that they identify with. None of these changes are medical, permanent, or non-reversible in nature. Let me repeat that. Social transition is not medical, permanent, or irreversible. The second type of transition, medical, involves the taking of puberty blocker and hormonal medications. This is not the type of transition that the school has anything to do with whatsoever. You have heard other experts better qualified than myself speak about the very real dangers that transgender youth face from society, their peers, and in some cases, even their parents. These kids have no other caring to protect them and care for them other than through them. It is their last chance at finding the one adult that resilience research has taught us can make or break a child's life. Please don't take that adult from them by forcing them to notify a child's parents about their gender identity without that child's consent. That consent is important. If your child is unwilling to share with you what their gender identity is, I would suggest that you think about why that is. Children are unlikely to refuse to give consent for a counselor to speak to their parents without legitimate reason. While it is true that the brain doesn't finish forming until 25 or so, we wouldn't expect a kid who loves baseball to decide they don't love baseball till they're 25 years old.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all. Let's just stop for a second there and talk about this, okay?
Lord.
I mean, first of all, why is she okay, let me just be a little compassionate, but why is she crying? Why the tears? I get your passion about it, but what is this? She gets up there and immediately starts with the emotions.
So, and can we talk about the whole social versus medical transition? So let's talk about how she lied about what the schools are doing, because I don't know what she knows, but I happen to know two people personally who had, and get this, their secrecy policy supposedly only applies to 12-year-olds and up. Yeah, one was 10, one was 11 that were given breast binders on campus by a support group called Stonewall Alliance. So when she's saying that on that clip, bull. I call bull. Social transitioning then. So medically, there's risk associated with binding a minor girl's breasts, her natural breasts, putting it tightly. There's all kinds of problems that can develop from that. And people can just Google the risk factors. You don't believe me? Go to Mayo Clinic, go to other sites, and you look it up at a legit medical source, and you will see I am not lying. This is happening. This is happening. I'm sure it could be happening at schools wherever you all are watching this.
Yes, I just posted the other day. There was a school club in California, surprise, surprise, that was holding a meeting and teaching kids how to bind their chests.
Yep.
Girls. Yep.
Can you imagine 10 years old and the baseball comment? You got to love it. Really? like that's apples to apples. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, and you guys, if you guys were kind of paying attention to the people in the background, and we were talking about this, Nicole, before we went live, is it always boggles my mind that these people, and I hate to say these people, but we're just going to say these people because I don't know their names. They look so miserable. Like if you're so happy with what choices you're making, why do you all look so doom and gloom? These people, it's just, I don't know. They look
Doom, gloom,
ill.
and pissed
They-
off, angry at the world, and
yes.
victimhood. It's about
Yes.
victimhood.
Yeah. Yeah. It is about victimhood. Welcome back, Suni. She's having some internet problems. You good now?
It's the gosh. No, I'm gonna be good. Never mind. I'm gonna be good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Did you see it all, that video that we played?
Yeah, I watched it on my own.
What did you think about it?
I think mental illness is real. That's what I think. There's a lot
Yeah.
of agitated. I'm sorry, I'm a Christian. I think there's a lot of agitated demons that don't like what's going on. They don't like the fact that parents are standing up and saying absolutely not. They feel they have entitlement to children that aren't theirs because they take the whole it takes a village to the max. I understand, fine, it may take a village, but I don't make decisions for that child. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Sure, I can be there to hold them accountable, like, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing that. But to make decisions for that kid, like, no, dude, you can't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Suni made a good point about the whole mental health thing. Do you notice how the same group of folks really always says there's such a stigma about mental health. We need to destigmatize mental health. Cool. I agree with you. Let's destigmatize mental health.
Yeah.
Then you have the trans topic. And to me, there's the secrecy topic and the trans topic is separate. People have like commingled them because that just happens to be one example of what they're keeping a secret about. There could be other things too. Can you imagine, you brought up your Christianity. Can you imagine if we went in there Bible thumping away and started to go, hey, you are going to pray to our God. We're going to hear from you right now. And you're going to learn these verses. And if you don't, there's going to be hellfire and brimstone and whatever. They would lose their minds.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I asked that on our previous show because we had someone who supports this legislation. We had her come on and I said, so would you be okay with my Christian values being taught in school? And then she literally flipped it and said, well, no, because we have parents in school that don't like the fact that their kids are learning Christian things and they may abuse them. Once again, going to the extreme, presenting a story that is never, ever materialized in real life.
Yeah.
You just say you wouldn't be okay with it because you don't want it taught in school and you feel like it's aggressing upon your rights as an American to not have Christianity or any other religion forced down your throat. That is how we feel about this queer theory. Or you like trying to hide information. It's the same thing about CRT. Like, come on, just be honest about your intentions and stop pretending.
And why
you don't have the same issues we have.
Yeah. Why do we need to immediately affirm something without a deep physical evaluation being done by a medical professional and a mental evaluation done by a professional? Why are you coming at minors? You can wait and hit pause until they're adults. Do the waitful watching. I think they call it the watching, waitful, whatever. And that was a thing and it was successful. Almost, it's like the stats were 70% of all these situations self-resolve if you leave gender confused kids alone. Some experts even say that number is as high as 98, 99% actually. But I mean, even if you go conservative with it and say 70%, holy hell, what are you doing to these kids? What are you doing? Leave them be then. Let's watch it and see. And honestly, the fact that you brought up right in the intro, Mo, about literally the first moments they're affirming this kid and walking them down the thing, changing the name, changing this. And it's not confidential. I have news for people, and you'll hear this dad talking, I'm sure, that you're going to play that's against the secrets and for good reason. Like, look, we have a right to know, but here's the thing. It's not that they're doing the confidentiality and anti-discrimination. No, I'm sorry. It was all about removing the parent from the equation because everybody at the school knew. The kids knew, the staff knew, everybody knew. And in the parent that is suing, Aurora Regino, her child actually said the words, "I want to tell my mom. I want someone to do something." Do you know the school didn't at that point either?
They almost like convinced her not to tell her mom.
Right. So she asked, she said, "I want my mom to know." At some point she said, "I want to tell her, and I want you to tell her." No, they didn't. And so I didn't even know that piece until more recently.
That's criminal.
When she was
That's
giving a speech
criminal.
that I heard.
Yeah,
So
that's
let's
criminal
talk
to me.
It's not about the secrets. It is literally about dividing these households.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I posted a question here. Somebody
don't.
wanted to know. You
We
don't
do
have
not
a mom's
Moms for Liberty. There are people exploring it here. They think they're leaning in that direction, because we all need to help each other. We need to help each other. There's a lot of resources out there. A lot of attention's getting on this topic, which is fantastic. And I do have some. I did jot down some legislation that's good and bad to throw out at you guys. And if there's not time, I can always throw it in the chat so you guys can have that.
Yeah, for sure. If you would, yeah, you can send us links afterwards and we'll put them in the drop down of the video.
Excellent.
Let's get to listening to this gentleman, Sean, who is on your side of the aisle on this issue. I thought what he said was awesome, but you guys are going to see the difference in how he was treated when he got up to speak. So here is Sean Mossman.
It seems to me that what the board needs to decide is what the position they're going to take concerning this idea of secrecy. Up front, you insisted that there was no secrecy policy. The superintendent sent out an email insisting that there was no secrecy policy. And yet we can see it is abundantly clear that we were lied to then, that there is in fact secrecy policy and guidelines in place at our practice and have been for years. My daughter has been violated and compromised in this school system. Girls and boys were violated and compromised today in this school system. And now you're talking about excluding parents from their most natural right. Our Constitution guarantees that those rights that are given by nature and nature's God are to be protected.
You hear when he says nature's God, they all have like a condition, right? And look at this. Okay, I just want to point out this guy right here. He's just in disbelief. This lady right here looks like she's about to burst into tears. This one right here looks like they're all like, they just can't handle listening. So remind yourself that this is the people of acceptance, right? You should accept everything that they do, but they cannot accept your opinion on this issue. Let's continue here.
Have order. Please have order. The rudeness and the mocking. I was sat quietly and I listened to you respectfully, and I expect the same. The idea of parental secrecy is kind of silly because the parent's going to find out. What position do you want to be in when the parent finds out that you have lied to them and deceived them and manipulated their child without their knowledge, that you have undermined their authority, that you have increased the animosity between that child and their parent? You've increased the animosity between that parent and you have created an animosity and an adversarial relationship with that parent. And I've heard over and over as I sat down there through this whole meeting that it is the desire of this school district to work in partnership with parents. The parent's going to find out. Now, there's a case right now that's already costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. It may cost millions of dollars. You want to have a difficult conversation with a parent up front? Or do you with a pissed off, angry parent because you went behind their back for perhaps months and months before they finally find out what you've been doing behind their back? You violated their rights, you violated their trust, you violated their family, you violated their children. The most basic of rights as parents. I understand there's cases, there's difficult cases. There are in every facet of life. And I'm not against any trans student. I saw a flyer that said, We need to protect trans students, trans children. I'm here tonight not because these children are trans, but because they're children, and men protect children. As a man, I'm a little ashamed that we've got mama bear after mama bear coming up, and you husbands and fathers stand back there behind your wives and let them fight this battle for you. There's a battle to be fought when you hear from parents.
That was awesome. And he had a point, he had a point there. Sorry, my cat Chad is about to walk past the screen here. He likes to make a little appearance every show. But anyways, he had a point. I love that he called out the dads because there weren't enough dads to get up there and speak. And I think that that's an indication of what part of the problem is too, because one of the things that Suni and I mentioned last week in our discussion with the guest we had last week was that there seems to be an absence of men in these meetings. And when you look at these women's groups and these groups that are like these activist groups, they're all run by women heavily.
Yeah.
We need men. We need men to stand up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agree. We had the first meeting was more of a healthy balance of that. And then we believe, again, that the president deliberately put that topic, queued it up in the back. She knew it was a hot topic. She could have made it. What she should have done, and she knows damn well she should have done it, was made it a special meeting where it was on its own night. Just like y'all are going to have your little extra show on a Tuesday, right?
Right.
She could have done that. She's not doing it. It's not okay. So how many parents do you know that have multiple kids sometimes, or single mom, single dad, can spend 8 freaking hours waiting for their opportunity to speak? They don't. And that group that was there, I'm seeing questions from people. Do they even have kids? No, a lot of them did not even have kids. They put out a call to arms, basically. And I say arms, but I mean to show up.
Yes.
In their little support group. And back in the day, they were a true support group. Now they are basically activists. I won't use the word militant activists, but they might as well be with the way they were behaving. And I don't know if you have a shot later of the gal who had the knife across her chest and then got herself famous for sharing that next morning, being all great about it and sharing an image of and she's a professor at Chico State, and she shared an image of what one would presume to be a queer woman holding a gun and pointing it at. You don't see who she's pointing it at, but what your inference is by the caption was something to the effect of something about being gay, and then F everybody kind of a thing. And so pointing at conservatives or Christians or anybody who's a parent basically was where that gun was probably pointing the way she wanted it felt. And then of course later, it's taken out of context. Was it though? With a transgender shooting 3 9-year-old school children days before, and 3 staffers. And then this woman shows up in the podium with a knife across her chest. And then the next day drops a meme like with the gun pointing and the foul slogan. Yeah, you're inciting violence. That if what you're calling what other people are doing is inciting violence, you're inciting violence. And honestly, it did. It amps it up. And you see what you see there. That
this one,
folks were amped. That's her, Lindsay Briggs, Professor Lindsay Briggs. It says protects trans kids, I believe, on the shirt the whole way. Yep.
With a knife. That's great.
Yep.
That's great, Lindsay.
Stylized knife is what she said. It's stylized.
Right. And like, was she like painting the side of a house before she came? Like, what's up with this rebreather that she has on her face?
So very much, she has an at-risk person in the household and goes off on anyone who used to be in her classroom who wouldn't wear a mask. And they were all darlings and complied. Well, because she was pretty militant about it and made it clear you weren't welcome if you weren't wearing a mask. And so she wears that. But the rest of them all wearing them. Hello, pandemic's over. Even president said so. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we know.
Can we talk about this? Like, what is this? Like, is this a board meeting or is this Cirque du Soleil? Like, what are we doing
So
here?
that gentleman, I think he calls himself Squeaky, sat somewhat parallel to us, and you don't see where, but off to the far side, a bunch of them were sitting on the ground. was mad dogging my friend and I the whole meeting with and leaning forward on purpose, opening the legs, displaying, and literally mad dogging us the whole time. And I said, well, what someone who wants to be a lady understands is we're taught to keep our legs together and cross them when we're in a dress. So
Right.
get on
Right.
board.
I mean, this is a joke. Like, this is just making a mockery. I get, like, if you're
It
for
is.
this stuff, fine.
Yep.
But what is this? Like, you don't need to come in your Halloween costume. This guy literally looks like John Wayne Gacy, you know,
It
like,
It really is offensive. I feel like for a lot of the transgender people who call themselves transgender women, I don't do pronouns, just so you know. I'm not down with
Mhm.
that. I'm not going to go down that path. And I have found a way to respect individuals without using their preferred pronouns. I'm not going to
Sure.
buy into stuff like that. Here is my thing. Why do a lot of people who are doing male to female act like it's a caricature situation and demean
Yes.
what I am as a woman and what you are as a woman? There is a way to feel the way you feel and show some dang respect. And putting on garish amounts of makeup, the drag story hour, all this other stuff. No, then you're not doing women and you're
Mhm.
us, you're degrading us. And a lot of the women I talk to, we feel appalled by it. And
Yeah.
we fought very hard to be taken seriously in the workplace and be professional in other things. And it's eroding everything that we are.
Mhm. Mhm. It is. Suni, do you have anything to say? I know you've been having some connection issues.
Mm-mm. Um, I'm just trying to be. I'm what they would call a sensible extremist. Like, I'm very much sensible, but my remedy to these situations is not diplomacy. These people are not diplomatic. I think conservatives need to take the gloves off. They don't care about punching you in your face. And then when you say, hey, you punched me, and they're like, no, I didn't. Now, what you gonna do about it?
Mhm.
You're expecting them to tell the truth and say, okay, well, yeah, I did punch you. They don't care about diplomacy. So I'm going to keep the same motto. Go around and find out, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would rather keep teachers afraid of me as a mom than for me to ever go in there and shake your hand and like let's kiki. I don't want to kiki with you. I want to know what your
Mhm.
intentions are. I want to know the type of teacher you are. Are you teaching comprehension, reading, math, social studies? Because if you're teaching anything outside of
That's
that,
it.
we're gonna have problems. I'm
Yep.
gonna make my presence known in your classroom daily to make sure you're not doing no weird stuff. And teachers don't like that. They don't like when you come observe their classroom. You teach your class. It shouldn't matter if I'm here or not. Luckily, my
100%.
kids have great teachers, right? And I didn't really have to run into this stuff.
Mhm.
But I'm
Shout
more
out
on
to
the
those that
extreme.
do. Shout out to those that do, because I even talked to a couple teachers. So just so you know, I put some feelers out, and I had some people message and like, oh, we're getting worried. We're getting messages about teachers, and they're worried about maybe being threatened. And I said, look, here's the thing. Um, Take a stand. Like, you need to push back on administration and say, you are asking me to lie to parents. I am not comfortable with that. I will not be complying with that. And if they try to threaten to lose a job, I strongly suspect if they take that to court, asking people to lie, and it's not confidentiality. They can't stand on that because they are telling everybody else. It's not like
Mhm.
they're just keeping the child's secret and only
Hmm.
one counselor and that child know. Everybody knows. They socially transition them, name, pronoun, clothes, and it's just the parents who don't know. I think I would take that gamble if I was a teacher. And so I appreciate those who try to push back and say, "Oh, it's not at my school, though. Oh, it will be." And then you have a decision to make, and you already should be thinking about what you're going to say. That's
Right.
what I would
Facts.
say to them. I
Absolutely.
appreciate what the ones do who are doing fundamentals, and you're right, they need to stay in that space. It is not their job to parent our children.
Yeah. I agree
No.
100%. Um, somebody asked, what other platforms are we on so they can join in the chat? We saw we're on Rumble, we're on YouTube at somewhere in the middle, USA. Um, and then if you follow my YouTube page, Let's Talk Darling, or Suni's Hot Mic, with Suni Blanks, you can catch it there
Yeah.
as well. If you're asking how you can join in this actual discussion, we can post the link a little bit later into the show. But just an FYI, if you're joining from a cell phone, like if you want to join and come on here and ask a question of Nicole, if you're joining from a cell phone, it's going to be really glitchy. So if you can get on a computer, that would be best, or a desktop or something like that, a laptop, that would be best.
Hey, I'm on my cell phone on YouTube and doing chat with you guys while I'm over here too. So
Oh.
that works great. You can do the live chat right there and it works like a dream.
There you go.
Just open
There you
the
go.
YouTube, chat on your phone.
We'll post the link if you guys want to come in and join and ask questions or contribute to the discussion if you were at this meeting as well. But Nicole, I do want to kind of take a step back and talk about, why is this particular issue so important to you?
Yep. So you were showing images up there. I was blindsided by the fact that my own adult child was present at that meeting. Mind you, my child doesn't appreciate some of the advocacy work I do, and I knew that. But I was not aware my child was going to be there and be weaponized against me by this group. And that really brings home why that gentleman kind of said what he did when I walked in the room. Obviously they knew what was going down. And so my child went up and was part of the group that was speaking at the podium at one point, went up to speak. My child was born biological female, natal female, and decided at 22 that the term in the letter we got dumped on our front porch wanted to be non-binary and aromantic. So don't feel romantic love. And I sometimes feel like a girl. I sometimes feel like a boy. And this is why that whole thing about waiting till 25 is, understand this, see where this is going. My child was there looking like a man. And my child now, I have not been told directly by my own child that him is preferred. The last time I was talked about pronouns for my child was, I want to be called they, them. And I said, no, that won't happen. I support you as a human. I love you, and we live in America, and you are an adult and you have the right to do what you want. I don't necessarily think it is a healthy choice without having counseling and going through things. You've never had signs of this. It seems really sudden. My child got pretty emotional and upset that I wasn't going to do they, them. And I just said, look, here's the thing. I can use your legal name. My child decided to do a legal name change, wiped out our last name. It was very traumatic because it was like an erasure of everything our family unit had ever been. And my child during the speech called our household a bigot and said, oh, you can see why I didn't share with my parents, like it was the right decision or whatever. I don't even remember, because to be honest, it was so intense and horrifying to be in a room full of people and a lot of strangers, but some loved ones, thank God, right around me. Without my friends, I don't know what I would have done, honestly. I was broken. I had a whole speech prepared that I was going to read at the podium. I've done things before. I've been speaking like this for 7 years, and mind you, I hate public speaking. And I used to shake like a leaf, and I got over that to some extent, and I lost it at the podium. It just, again, it's my child sitting there, and I could hear my child even doing the jeering, taking part. And it honestly was so painful. And the humiliation wasn't over my child being transgender. It was my child being so disrespectful when we have taught over years to both our kids how to treat others. I am literally the parent where on the playground would say, see that kid over there by themselves? Why don't you go ask them if they want to play? Hey, when you're at school and there's a kid sitting alone in the corner, can you please invite him to come to your table? No one else might do that. You need to be the one. They're not going to go do it. They're going to feel scared. Please help them. That is literally who I am as a human. And my friends know that. I don't know who my kid is talking about. And I really think testosterone is just horrible. It amps up when you have a child that has high anxiety, ADHD. Some of these kids are on the autism spectrum. Now they're finding there's like linkages to stuff like this in legitimate studies for these transgender kids. I'm sorry. It does. It makes you irrational. You're full of rage. You're full of misplaced anger. You're listening to a cult called Stonewall Alliance getting in your head and trying to change your reality of how you freaking grew up. What? No. And so here I am standing up. Like, it took me a while. It took me to my knees. I was sobbing. I was incoherent. I apologize to anybody who saw that. I was a mess. And you probably are like, what the hell? Why is she acting like that? Because there was zero context when I got up there for you all to understand. My child went some number of people before me. And I went through like 2 Kleenex boxes and had to pull myself up by my big girl panties and get back at it, because you know what? There's a biological male and there's a biological female, and you can have a whole lot of feelings and you can feel a certain way. And you do you if you're an adult, but by God, if I'm going to sit my ass down when minors are being railroaded down a surgical path to hell, where there is no statistical proof people are living their best life and are so much happier and are committing suicide less. Let's be real and let's do actual statistics. And I still have love. So what I do is this. You've heard me all night say my child, right? I don't say he, him. I don't say she, her. I want to respect that my child feels a certain way. And again, this is America. I would be the biggest hypocrite if I didn't let my child as an adult be making adult decisions. Do I agree that this is an easy path or a path I would have chosen? No, I don't. Of course not. Of course not. It's hard for me at the beginning of your show to watch you guys putting the people up there, and people are going, and yeah, look at the people in the front, look at the people in the middle, look at the yahoos with the mask. I know, I understand how you guys feel. And yet it's my child. And so I understand how people can say, see, we're bullied. No, you're being bullied because you're affecting behavior of rage and other things and victimhood and clannish. It's not because you're having feelings. It's because you don't respect other people's feelings. And so to my child, I talk real talk, and I am a direct person, and some people I'm a lot. I get it. But I can't be something I'm not and use pronouns I don't believe, because they, them is multiple people. So do you have a multiple personality disorder? If you do, maybe people are using they, them, but you've got a diagnosed situation. Mo, I shared with you in the DSM-5, which is a diagnostic manual for mental situations. There are 8 characteristics of someone who has gender dysphoria. You have to have had 6 of those 8 markers to be considered diagnosed as having gender dysphoria. Guess how many my child had? That would be a big fat 0. And if my
Wow.
child says otherwise, I will say my child is not being honest and truthful with my child's self. Because guess what? My kid loved to wear dresses, used to bug me to do the sundress thing. My kid had long, beautiful hair. My kid was in love with Disney princesses and not in the other way, wanted to like be and embody them, had the most beautiful soprano voice that is destroyed. The soprano voice gone. Gravelly probably doesn't even have a good alto at this point because of T. T wrecks you. All the things
Testosterone
used to
is
be
T,
so
right?
touchy-feely.
Testosterone.
Testosterone. It's called
Yeah.
T in their thing.
Mhm.
And so to hear your child sit in that room and call your household a bigot, and here I am trying to respect the space by, okay, to be me, I'm sorry, I'm not going to use your pronouns. I am going to do this. I will talk about you in birth order. I will talk to you as a business owner. I will use your name that you've selected because you've changed it legally. I will not do the other things. I will not. But am I happy you found someone to marry that you love? Yes, I am. No parent wants your child unhappy. If so, I show love for that. I would have gone to the wedding. I would have been happy that my child was happy. I wasn't
Yeah.
given any of those opportunities because
Yeah.
see, they need to make themselves victims to live in that space to keep pissed off. And when I'm playing and I'm like being a good human and trying to do these things, and I'm demonized and called these names, they need to keep me in that space, because then if I'm at the wedding and they let it be known I actually supported their business and gave them a loan and would have given them a loan for the house. Oh, wait a minute. And that happened after the announcement. Maybe there's something going on here that's different.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of lying that happens in that community. I call them the glitterati, by the way.
That's a
Glitterati.
great name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. And, Suni and I are both mothers, so we can really, sympathize. We both love our children. Suni's like an amazing mother to her kids. Like she's so loving to her kids. I love my children. I've been through hard things with my children. Nothing to that degree, but like it's hard. It's hard when something goes on with your children that you don't quite understand or that causes you some type of embarrassment. It is very, very hard. But as parents, you still will always love your children. Even if you have to say, hey, we have to separate, I understand, but you're
Yep.
never going to lose that love for your children. Because I saw somebody in here that said that they would disown their kids. I don't know if you have kids, Birdman, but um, it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? It is literally, Nicole said it was literally like having a death, especially as a mom. I
Yep.
can't speak for how a father would feel. I'm sure your
The
husband was
same.
devastated, but
Devastated.
I would be a wreck. I
Yep.
would be a wreck because as a mom, you go through pregnancy and you're like, is it a boy? Is it a girl? Maybe you wanted a boy and you had a girl, but the minute that girl is born, you love them and you accept
Yep.
them. Everything that you wanted them to be goes out the window. You love them for everything they are. Even if they're born with a disability, they're perfect in your eyes, right? We don't get to say, well, I wanted a boy, so guess what? I'm going to make her a boy. We don't get to
Right.
do that. And that's not right either.
Yep.
So for us to see our children go through this mental struggle or illness where they all of a sudden feel like the body they were born with isn't the body they should be or the sex they should be, um, we want to help. We want to support them in any way we can. But I'm sorry, my kids are never going to demand anything of me. And I applaud you for standing your ground and saying, I love you,
Yep.
but here's where my line is drawn and where you
Yeah.
need to respect me.
Yeah.
I applaud you for that.
Yep. And we don't get the reciprocity. We don't. I see in the
Right.
comments your person says, like, that's why we can't have women in charge. And glad I raised my girls right. Hey, glad you feel you're in your perfect space. And I'll say I'm a direct person. Like I said, you may not like what you get with me. I'm going to be direct with you. We were fantastic parents. I had a ton of people say so. We raised our kids golden rule, and you heard me share how we were inclusive. My husband's Mexican, my kids are Mexican. Okay, I'm Caucasian. We are not elite. Like we had challenges. I grew up poor for a long time. We ate scrappy dogged it. And so you can judge all you want and think a certain thing. Again, my child decided at 22, have my child tried to come to me as a minor and say, I'm going to do this and this, I would have done the whole, we're going to get you a physical, make sure there's no pituitary issue. We would have had stuff done. Like I wasn't given any of that opportunity to look and see what's going on here. Planned Parenthood marches and puts your kid on testosterone without requiring anything. It's
Right.
literally can be within minutes of talking to them that you get a script for testosterone. So what I'm
Yes.
trying to tell you folks is this could be you. You think it can't be you at some point or your grandchild or whatever, then you're delusional. And you better wake up because we will lose all the kids. We will lose all of them because guess what? The next generation and the next get this in the school system. And we don't have a lot of time to unring this bell. We don't.
Agreed. I put a question here, Nicole. Personal question, but these generations are afar from how I was brought up and see the adult children missing a step in development like it was lost. I feel that this is causing the thriving on victimizing and not holding themselves accountable. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, to me, you know what? I heard you talking about how you were raised, and I had to laugh because, parents were stern. They were allowed to be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go get the spoon. You better, look out with the wooden paddle, whatever."
Hmm.
And we didn't hit our kids or anything like that. But I will say, we were raised directly, and also we were taught coping skills, and we started giving participation trophies. No, there's winners and there's losers. And what you teach the losing side is how to graciously be a loser. And you teach the winning side to not be an ass about winning and to win graciously. But someone wins and someone loses. And at some point, we decided everybody gets a freaking trophy. And we also just started having wham wham rooms in colleges and other spaces. And people don't know how to put on their pants and get to work and go to school and interrelate. People are on social media so much they don't know how to go outside and understand how to frickin' play. The pandemic just wrecked us further because guess what? They all went in their bedrooms, got on their phones. Everybody's judgy in chat rooms and social influencers. And I truly believe that what you're looking at is you are looking at social hysteria. You are looking at a contagion. And in that book, Irreversible Damage, Abigail Schreier could not be more accurate. That was literally, she could have been writing a book about our situation 6 years ago, where this was a rapid onset with no markers. My child might say, well, I felt this way and I was hiding it from you. Well, that, I guess that could be the case, but there was no physical indicator. And they talk about it being in minors, very young. So people need to go look at that book. You should read it and you should take the time so you can understand and like totally debunk their narratives, and go to other sites. There's great websites that talk about how the Trevor Project sites on the suicide stats. They're a leftist funded organization that are going to lean into a narrative. There's other stuff out there that debunks it.
Suni,
Sorry.
you were like,
I was like in the middle of stretching as you said that.
sorry.
I mean, like I said, I have a more extreme approach. I think this is a fear for a lot of parents. I don't know why people pretend like they're not afraid for their kids to turn out gay. Like, that's a fear, a real fear for parents, because it's not, number one, it's not an easy path for you to go down. It's destructive. You end up lonely at the end of it all. And it's an unresolved traumatic response. Like I mentioned earlier, I was watching this live with this girl who had never been sexually molested. Like, nothing ever physically happened to her, but she got introduced to pornography very early. And now, because she was introduced to pornography, she has very strange kinks, very, very odd things that she's into because she was introduced to something so early. So you almost have to, it's almost to where with me, I've made my kids a replica of me. When they see something, they're vocal. That's weird. I don't like that. You're not supposed to do this. Rather than making your children inclusive, which I don't believe in at all. I'm not creating inclusive citizens. Everybody doesn't deserve a seat at the table, such as participation trophies. There's losers, there's winners. There's normalcy, and there's awkwardness. Okay? There is a such thing as weird in this world. We need to get our children accustomed to those words so that they're not tricked in school when their teacher tells them, well, there's just unique people in the world. No, there's not. Okay? There is societal norms and there are societal things that are completely abnormal. It is okay to call those things out. That's just my person. That's just what I do in my home. And they take it to school. So when they go to school and they hear these things, because they do, my daughter was introduced to what non-binary was from another student. She didn't internalize that. The first thing she did was got in the car. Mom, what is non-binary? That's my moment to say, number one, there is no such thing as not feeling like anything. God made you a boy or a girl. You see the way your parents operate. I'm a woman, daddy's a man. There's husbands, there's wives. Anything outside of that is weird. It's basic. Give your kids the game on what they're going to be experiencing going out into this world. You can't shield them from it. You can't. It's on TV. It's everywhere. You can't.
Yeah.
See,
That's
and
just me.
I don't twine up the gay topic, being homosexual, with being trans, because to me, one is who you're attracted to, whereas trans is like literally inward. Like, they are expressing they don't feel a certain way, and that may be how they feel. I think there's a lot of mental health things going on there personally, and that probably unaddressed traumas and other things are going on. I have a lot of gay friends who are super happy married to each other and are fantastic humans. And I'm not as far to one side or another as other people. I think it is a hard life. I think a lot of people have a hard time with it and have struggles. I think some of the trans folks, if I were to guess, have like kind of some homophobia of their own internally, where they're just gay and they're afraid to just say, I'm gay. And so they would prefer to be the opposite of what they are biologically. So then they're not gay in their mind, right?
Mhm.
And I think that that helps people in their mind. It might help people digest it. I don't think that's necessarily the case, but I think that is sometimes what people feel. And so for me, I try not to twist up those two things. And I respect your opinion, Suni. That's again, to me, this is America, and you're on grounds where you are, where it is too in a way. And so I respect that you feel that way. I just feel it's a big other topic when you're talking gender dysphoria. Because for gay, it's who am I attracted to, you
Mm.
know, and whether someone agrees with that's okay or not, that's a whole nother thing, right? So I just feel like no matter what, these are minors, and what we keep landing on is what the hell are we doing, and why is it okay to march someone down a path that they can't? And I don't know if you guys have the time, but I just want to say this about the things. If you don't know, HR 1585 would be Prohibiting Parental Secrecy Policies in Schools Act. Congressman Doug LaMalfa has that one out. That would remove some federal funding that they rely on in the schools if they're doing this business. Boom, money
Yes.
gone. I'm a head of the snake kind of girl. I like the way military works because guess what? I don't mess around. Like when you're watching TV and there's bad guys and whatever, I'm like, why are they shooting from behind them toward them? Like I would come in front and go the other way. You're going to take them out. Head of the snake.
Mhm.
Here's the deal. The head of the snake means you're taking their money and or pulling your kids out of the school system because that's more money. That's the only way to stop this crap and to start fighting back.
So you mentioned that, but I heard, and I don't know what her name was in the meeting, but she was talking about, what were like the options that they had, right? To like kind of play around with whatever this policy was wanting to do. And she mentioned a fourth option saying wait on legislative action that takes legal responsibilities away from the schools, meaning like the
Yeah.
schools wouldn't get legally held responsible,
Yep.
like in the case of what this school did is they helped
Right.
transition this young boy. So yeah, I agree with you. I think they should take funding away.
Yep.
um but I think that kind of falls in our hands when we go and vote. Because
Absolutely.
we have to be voting for the people that are going to be
Yep.
supporting that. But to kind of take it back to Suni's point, and I want to preface this by saying I'm kind of like you, Nicole, that I have friends that are in the gay community. Now, I do consider myself a Christian, but I guess I'm not as strict as Suni is about it because she's very, very by the book as far as what the Bible says on
I respect that she
homosexuality,
lives by the
right?
ideals of it. If you call
Absolutely.
yourself on, yeah, I can respect that.
Absolutely. And I agree with her also. See, like I'm on your side, but then I see Suni's point because, and I don't want to speak for her, she can expand on this, but the problem is that once you say, okay, well, it's not so bad to be gay, and if this person's gay and happy and they don't seem to have any mental illness, then we can just let them be, or let them have a voice in this whole thing. But then where does it end? It's a slippery slope, right? Whereas I would just like it to be like, I don't need to know you're gay for you to speak on an issue, right? Like, I don't need to know that
Mhm.
you're a gay conservative or that you're a gay for Trump or that you're a gay for
Right.
this issue. I just need to know that you're a human being that cares about the issues,
Thank you.
and we align on things, right?
Exactly. We
But
don't
the
need to show a
problem,
cis card. I had to look up cisgender a long time
oh
ago. What
gosh,
the
me
hell?
too.
I
Me too. But everybody's got to have like this label now. So we're Christian, we're conservative, we're
yeah.
Republican, we're Democrat. Everybody's got to put a label on themselves. And that's where they have really began to divide us. It's like that's actually been the plan all along. Like we're going to make all these labels for everybody and you tell me where you fit in. But now they're like taking individual groups like the LGBTQ, XYZ, LMNOP, and they're even dividing those people. So you have
Yep.
some gay people who are like, we don't know what this LGBTQ
They
thing
are
is.
not happy with this.
Yes, yes. But then you have people that are. or they feel like if they don't, because we've spoken to some of those people, if they don't ride for the LGBTQ alphabet soup, then they're going to be ousted by the
Oh,
community.
it's quick. So did you
Yes.
catch at the meeting that that exactly is what's going on? So there's a combat
Yes.
veteran that's transgender that came, Paula, that came up to stand by me when I lost it. And then Paula actually spoke at that meeting and was like, "Look, I'm a combat veteran. I'm transgender. Here's who I am. But guess what? I was an adult. I went through all the steps. I did what I was supposed to do." Well, what Paula didn't have time to say is Paula has been ousted from Stonewall Alliance. Like, they bully Paula. It's been horrible. And so here it is. They hold up this, we're about love and inclusivity and yay, glitter and unicorns and rainbows. But really, they're like scattershot, boom, boom, boom. If you don't agree, it's our way or the highway with them. And so here's the thing, where is the safe space? If they're all about safe spaces, well, that school auditorium certainly was not a safe space for all of us that were there with the crap that they were pulling. And if we would have pulled that, you can bet your bottom dollar they would have been calling the police, screaming bloody murder, all of that. But we weren't. So I get what Suni's saying about, like, how do you do this? How do you level up without it getting like where people are getting hurt and whatever? But these are our children. So to me, that's why I'm saying head of the snake, take their freaking money out, get new people's butts in chairs. You get new school boards, new council members, new board of supervisors, new whatever. If you've got a good conservative majority who's upholding things, you hang on to those and you kick everybody else to the curb.
Right. Suni. She leaned in. I was like, oh, she wants to say something.
Coming
Oh
out.
gosh.
Come on. Defend your stance, Suni Blinks.
So in the beginning, right, we opened up with Mr. Beast, and you said, "Now look, I'm just going to set the stage. This guy doesn't sit on there and promote his agenda. It's just been a progression of him changing, right?" And the first thing you said was, "How sad." Although he has not verbalized it, he is technically not even promoting it with his words, but his presence, his mere presence, has all of us floored. I'm looking at the conservative movement do exactly what Mr. Beast is doing. But instead of "this is sad," we're just conforming. The right has become the left. I shouldn't have to walk into any space, any chat, and preface my opinion with, "Oh, it's not all gays." We just watched a man transition, and you have parents unsubscribing from Mr. Beast. Now, Mr. Beast doesn't promote it. He doesn't promote the lifestyle. He doesn't talk about it on his channels. But the mere presence is alarming. We have let that alarming, that sense of having a heightened sense of, okay, what the hell's going on? Because these people say, "Well, I have the same views as you do." No, you don't. Stop lying. Because when it's time for someone like me, a Christian, to say, "Well, these are my beliefs, and no, I don't believe in this lifestyle, and no, I'm not interested in working," you're a bigot. Then you want to challenge what scripture says, and you want to challenge me with the Bible. And then it turns into, I am defending my faith to someone who said that they're in it for my First Amendment right. Well, if you're in it for my freedom of speech, then why are you challenging me?
I agree with that too. Yep. That's why I said individual freedoms. If you really believe it, you can't be a hypocrite, and you have to respect. And I do respect that you are a Christian and that is yours. My friend and I had almost the same conversation because she's there. And I said, this is why I haven't dove all the way into that, because if I am, I'm going to embody it. And because we were talking about the difference between spirituality and religion. And I had explained just through some traumas that I'd seen friends go through in the church and some other things. I believe in God and I believe in spirituality, but I just won't go to the institution of a church because of some stuff. And that's my stuff, but I don't project that onto someone else. And so I totally respect your right. And I actually really admire when people have the tenacity to stick to all the tenets of what it is to be a Christian, because that is a hard thing. There's a lot to it. And and I can respect that. And I can respect people saying, like I said, I may not agree with it. And again, I'm not going to do pronouns, but and I'm not going to let you come at minors. And so I will stand up for people. And I hope more people watching figure out a way to do this. Did you guys see the cases where they're literally can take your kids away from you?
Yeah, I saw
Your
that.
kid just
They
says, yeah,
passed that.
I feel like they might not like it if I say I'm this. And if they say that to the counselor and the counselor agrees, oh yeah, that's probably going to be an unsafe household. They can just take them without you knowing.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Hey, look, my fight is not everyone else's fight, right? I believe that it's a multifaceted cultural war we're all fighting. Um, I'm glad that you just do work at the school level, so where you're a parent that doesn't necessarily have skin in the game, but you're like, nah, I'm about to see what y'all doing over here.
Yep.
You don't have to. I'm not expecting for people to have my my faith is strong. That's a foundation for me. It's not ever changing. I'm not bending. I'm not breaking. I don't care about your sob stories, and that comes off as very cold and callous to people. But to someone else, they're like, "Dang, bro, you're really standing firm in your faith." I am.
Yep.
I am. I'm not. I just looked at America react to Mr. Beast with such disdain, and I watch conservatives do it. And then I watch you call yourself a Christian and then embrace the same freaking thing. You're okay with Lady Maga being at these events with young children. Why? Why? Oh,
Yep.
because we are conceding language. Like, this is a communist wet dream. It's the manifesto. We have conceded the language. That's
Yeah,
how
that
far we
the
are
whole
into
language
this.
thing gets me bad. I don't understand why we're allowing people to co-opt things. And
It's
I will say with
crazy.
you on the term marriage with gay marriage, this is the thing for me. I understand someone wanting to pledge themselves to another human and show their loyalty and love and all of that, because I don't care who someone wants to sleep with, whatever, as long as they're not a minor or someone that's not a human,
Mhm.
you sleep with who you want. But here's the thing.
Mhm.
Marriage is a religious term and it
Yeah.
is a man and a woman. And so it disrespected an entire religion to do that. And I thought it should have been come up with your own term, but
Thank you.
to folks that are truly living life as a Christian, like that's not okay. And I said
No.
that right from the get-go. And that doesn't mean I'm homophobic. It means I have respect for people who are living their religious life. And we just co-opted their term and something that 100% is religious. We can prove it. So why are we doing that?
47 House Republicans. People don't understand when you say that. 47 House Republicans voted
Yep.
to codify same-sex marriage
Yeah,
into
they folded
law. Like,
on a yep, yep,
do you not find that to be like the first step in taking away your freedom of speech to even speak out against it now, because they've now codified it within the Constitution that says, well, no, because our founding documents say this now, so you shut up. No different than the civil rights. They have literally inserted themselves into the civil rights movement. Like, it goes
Yes.
deep. I wish people would, and like I said, my fight is not everybody else's fight. I get into the nitty gritty. I want to know the origins. I want to know where we're going. What is it going to look like 10 years from now? I'm like you. I'm a long game person. The
yep.
second I see something, a behavioral switch, how's it going to affect me in 10 years? We need to get in front of it now. And there's times where I'm just too early to the punch and people take what I'm saying as like, oh my God, it's an attack. You're changing what's going on, right? And 6 months later, you're saying what I already said. But it's too late. You should have listened 6 months ago.
Mm. I'm
It's
telling you,
painful.
Nicole, I'm gonna be like this. I'm gonna be like this when we get up to him. I'm gonna be like, Suni, put in a good word for me. I'm gonna be screaming from the
Right.
bottom. Suni, put a good word in for me because she followed all the rules that I didn't. Oh Lord.
Apparently, I'm gonna have to do the same thing. Yeah, yeah. I do a lot right. I mean, I really do. I tell people that my friends, my nickname, I should not say this because I will never live it down, is Milk and Cookies, and everybody else got to be salsa and chips, and I was Milk and Cookies because I don't really drink. I've never smoked. I've never tried a drug. I'm with
Yeah.
my same man for forever, and I like to live the golden rule. Okay.
Yeah.
But I get that to some like to I'm not in your institution, Suni,
Yeah.
but and I can see your points and I respect that you have the right to feel the way you feel and I
Yeah.
appreciate that you respect I have the right to feel the way I feel. I
Yeah.
try to not be a hypocrite about stuff. I really do try to self-reflect. I want to say that when you showed that clip of that man, you guys didn't see the first meeting where he shared about the locker room experience that his child went through, his teenage daughter at high school. And I want to just say to the men and the women, I don't understand how you're all not there in droves because if you guys aren't hearing these swimmers who are talking about walking in a locker room and seeing a dude's junk out there, and you got women saving themselves for their guy and guys saving themselves for their lady, whatever, and you got the opposite sex in there with their genitalia out of their biosex, and even if they change whatever, it's not okay. Then
No.
create a different safe space for the people who chose to live differently than what
Exactly.
God took us to. And so I struggle with that. And I wanted to hear and acknowledge and validate that man, because holy God, everybody just like rolled past like it was a nothing burger. And I'm like, did you just hear him say, she said she felt sexually assaulted and violated and all these things? And everyone acted like it was just another thing they saw on TV, because we're so numb. We're numb. And these are your kids, for God's
Yeah,
sake.
dude.
Like, and no, and some of those people need to understand that there is a way to do this. I don't believe with minors ever there's a way to do this, but I'm going to say, if we're getting mowed over, like, make another room and they're the ones that go in it. Why make her feel other than when she is living
Right.
her authentic God-given right as a female?
Look, in a society where white men are dangerous, this white man who's identifying as something as he's not, he's completely safe. All I do is flip their law on them. Like, I thought white men were the greatest threat in America. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Why is this dude allowed in the bathroom with my kid? Like,
Yeah.
just do that.
Right.
I do that to my kids. You know, I go to their school and they had a communist fist up there, and I said, you know, do you know what that means? And why is this on the first, you know, on the front of the first grade hallway? Why is this there? Why are you saying we're against racism? Like, duh, it's 2023. We should already know these things. Why are you reinforcing it? And the teacher had no response for me. She sat there stunned. But guess what? That picture was gone the next day. The very next day.
And we're in this space where we see all these stories. And like I said, I think people truly are numb. And I can't, like, I wrote in, when I saw what happened to Riley Gaines, I wrote into that San Francisco administrator, vice president woman, whatever. And I said, are you freaking kidding me? Peaceful my ass. She had to barricade herself in a whatever, or got chased into a room and misses her flight. She's stuck for hours. We are literally erasing the chance for women to get scholarships, to have their sports achievements recognized. We're erasing their world records. There will come a point when you won't see any women on these rosters anymore. And and you think they're not taking the jobs? The men aren't taking our jobs? 100% they're taking our jobs. 100%. Look at the White House and what happened. Those are jobs that were supposed to go to females too. Because if you go by, like you say, flip their logic with the affirmative action and all that stuff, oh, okay. So you get to have a biological male gets to say, I am identifying a female, and get one of the top plum jobs at the White House. What the hell?
Right.
So you're erasing us. So yeah, I take it freaking personally.
Yeah.
You know, I do.
The erasure
You know,
of
we're
women
raising
is taking
kids
place.
and we're taking away scholarships and things. If you're financially disadvantaged, so that only matters to you about financially disadvantaged people if they are what then? Of color and queer and this, and check every box that's a virtue signal for you. But if you happen to be Caucasian in this, then yeah, no, never mind. You know, we don't care about your need for safety.
Real quick, I want to bring Gina in because she's been trying to come in, I know, so I don't want to keep her waiting. But I do want to highlight another super chat from Teresa. Thank you so much, Teresa. We appreciate you. And let's bring in Gina. Hopefully we can hear her well. Gina, you there? Hello? She's unmuted.
Chica, you there?
This is why we need roadcasters, all right, guys? This is what your purchases of the merch, all that goes into.
This is what the super chats. The super chats are going towards this.
Oh, what a bummer. We see. Oh, was that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is she talking?
Can you guys hear me?
I thought I heard something, but maybe I'm making it up.
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Good.
We can hear you great. Go ahead.
It's not you, it's me. My socks.
That's okay. No, you sound good. You sound good.
Hold on. So, hi, I'm here. This is me. That's my team. Anyway, let me see if I don't know, something is going on. So I was one of the parents who was at the meeting, and I just all for everything that she has done for this community. She's a great leader. He is a person who has experienced this whole transgender movement with her own kid. For meeting, there is one thing to be there and to experience the harassment and the violence at that school board meeting. There's people who equity and love, and as an immigrant, as a Hispanic, as a as a minority, I felt everything but in this meeting. But anyway, putting aside the transgender situation, I just want to say that secrets are no good. Teaching kids that it's okay to lie is not okay. And I haven't heard any cases of parents coming to the school board thanking for keeping secrets for them. I me in the dark about my experience with the transgender and my children. Oh, we have
Great
heard a lot of lawsuits keeping secrets from parents. So it's a complicated issue, and the school board is trying to make that is not even the law.
Mm-hmm.
They're just guidelines.
Yeah. You making it.
And
Yeah.
this is scary,
Super scary. How old are you? Said you have children. Do you have children in the school district, Gina? Do you hear me? Yeah. Do you have
kids? I have 5 kids. So I have
Gotcha.
School system and 3 in private. I took one of my kids out of the school system because she's a little bit on the autism spectrum. This wasn't gonna be good. Yet immediately pulled her out. She's in private. We have our issues in private, but they're smaller in public. So I have a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
A little
Nice.
bit of everything. All the
Nice.
all. I have a red hair. I'm Hispanic, but they were born, so all flavor happened.
and we're seeing in the chat here that you're known as Feisty Gina. Okay. Feisty Gina is what you're being called here. So apparently you get feisty.
She's our Colombian superhero.
Oh, era colombiana, por Dios santo. No wonder.
Yep.
I think we're losing her. Well, Gina.
Yes. And we have great teachers. Yes.
Yes, that's awesome. That's great. I mean, it's great to highlight the people like the administrators and the teachers that are supporting you parents and helping you guys along the way, because again, it's the other side that always gets highlighted. And the people that aren't making the waves, and they're just sitting there in the background just trying to support how they can. Kudos to those teachers. And if you're a parent in a school district where this is going on, make sure you let those teachers know how much you appreciate, and you want to work with them to support each other through this process, because they also need support. They're fighting a battle on their own, because they're fighting the same people you're fighting, right?
Excellent.
Oh.
I think she's.
Oh.
I think we lost her. She
probably has lags because of the
zero connection. She's not even connected right now.
She's somebody who saw stuff coming way before other people did at the school, and she was going to those school board meetings and trying to get other parents to wake up. So I am forever grateful to her, because it would be way worse. I mean, at least everybody has attention on this and they know. And huge props to Aurora Regino for filing that lawsuit. That is so brave. And to her child for being brave enough to withstand the enormous national attention that's on it is huge too. It's got to be super difficult. Aurora, they lost a grandparent, and Aurora had breast cancer, and that is a lot of the trauma this child had that led to some confusion. And then I feel like she was taken advantage of. I do. To me, it's a form of child abuse at that school. What happened? It was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. Gotcha. So we're going to get to a point. I don't think we have any more questions. If anybody has any questions, you want to join the link to come in, or you want to just drop a question in the chat, we'd be happy to ask Gina. I'm sorry, Nicole. I was stuck on Gina. We'll be happy to ask Nicole the question for you. But aside from this issue, I know that you mentioned you're going to Washington, D.C., because there's other things. You don't just fight school boards on privacy, policies in the school board, district, but you're doing other things as well. Do you want to highlight that? And then also let us know again where we can find you and connect with you. If anybody wants to email you, if you want to give that out, you can give that out as well.
Absolutely. So, yes, and actually it's not DC, although I like going to DC, but this time it's to the Sacramento Capitol. Assemblyman Gallagher is actually doing something on a separate topic, although I'll give a plug for his AB 1314, and I will drop that in a chat after, is the gender identity parental notification. It would require the schools within 3 days to notify parents of becoming aware of anything to do with gender identification, non-conformity, that kind of thing. He is a fighter. And he put out a call to action for this Tuesday for anybody who lives around Sacramento. You want to go, get there by 9 a.m. at the Firefighters Memorial Statue by the Capitol. And they're going to talk about getting the fentanyl crisis before the Public Safety Committee, because so far the committee is basically pushing back and not willing to talk about it. And hello, fentanyl is causing a lot of problems with public safety. Seems really lame to not acknowledge a huge crisis. There's like 100-something Californians a week die from fentanyl. It's hundreds of thousands across the country. Like, at what point is that a crisis for anyone? So I'm going to do that. And also trying to fight AB 665, which is the one they call minors consent to mental health services. No, that's, hey, parents, we can take your kids without you knowing it. So that's what you need to think. This is what they do. They give it titles that sound like oh, that's great. Who doesn't want mental health for people who need it? Don't say yes to that. Object. AB 957, family law, gender identity. That one gives the judge a power to, if you're getting divorced from your spouse, whoever agrees to immediately affirm that child's gender identity choice gets custody of the child. Oh, screw anything else that's going on in the house. That's AB 957. Look it up. It's true. California. You got to love California. How appropriate that some of these bills come from people with names like Scott Wiener.
Yeah. Oh, that guy.
Make that up.
Yeah. Wasn't that guy involved in some like scandal, like sexual?
Was it that guy? So.
They all are.
It might be another Wiener. We got a lot of Wieners in California.
Yeah, there was another Wiener. I think it was it was a DC Dick Wiener type dude. Yeah.
Yeah. We got a lot of problems. But yeah, I'm going to fight. So anybody wants a caravan, I'm down, and you can meet me there. And to be able to contact me, we do have a group, Save Our Chico, but just private message me. I'm on Facebook. It's Nicole Novitz, Nichole, last name Nava. And that is V like Victor, because we got to come out on top of this one. So you can get me there. I would give an email, but I should have stood one up so you guys could have done one. I might give you my group email or something like that in the chat later.
Yeah. Or you could just direct message her on Facebook. I'll after the show, guys, after the video goes back up, I'll add all that stuff in there so that you guys can follow whatever you want to do. And also, when is the next Chico board meeting if people want to attend, whether it's online or in person?
Yeah, Wednesday, the 19th. So that's this coming week on Wednesday at 5:00. 6 o'clock. I lied. It's not the special one. It's 6 o'clock And it's at Marigold Elementary in Chico. And yeah, you guys should watch. Some of the other stations are picking up our stuff because it's nuts. It's like Suni kind of nailed it with how it's described, and I think you did too, Mo. It's you just kind of have to see it to believe it's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask him to repeal. It's not going to go anywhere, but of course we'll go from items on the floor and try to address what happened and just say, like, you're going to have problems. You're going to lose money. You're going to lose parents. This is a stupid move. You will never hold public office again. I mean, I believe in directness. I'm not a happy camper, and they're going to hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. And P.S., you guys, people who are going to these meetings, okay, when you go up to that podium, think about what you could say that's going to make somebody want to put it on their Instagram feed or their Facebook feed, because all people care about these days is going viral. So do what they do, get loud, bang on the table, be really, really, I'm serious. Like, we have to do that because, I love these really sweet house moms that get up there like, yeah, my son, Johnny, nobody's interested. I get it. The story's valid, but you know what? We need to be heard and we need to be seen. And this is how media works. This is how social media works. Unless you are something to share that's going to be like, people are going to get clicks off of it. It's not going to be seen unless somebody's sitting like me and Suni are and watching the whole 8 hours of the meeting. I just want to keep it real because I want to put everybody on game. You have to play this way to make it into the news feeds and to make it on even places like Fox News.
Oh, we're getting live and living color updates about the presidential race. Wow.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. So use colorful language. Wear shirts like they do with stuff that that's going to be triggering. Do it all. Stop with the buttoned up. What happened?
God. Hey.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis has filed for his candidacy for president of 2024. Okay, now listen to me, Trump supporters.
We knew it.
Trump supporters. Don't come out the side of your neck attacking this dude. Shit, look. This is a moment for y'all to sit back and be quiet and watch. All right? Just watch. Go back and reference that George Soros video that you guys love to share out of context. Go back and watch it and sit back. And
where he endorsed DeSantis. Or you guys say he endorsed DeSantis.
Right. Allegedly.
Right. Yes.
Trump, hey, look. Trump is about to come out. I'm just telling y'all.
Yeah.
Trump is about to be like...
Yeah. And you guys, this news came at the perfect time because this is to my point. Now the news feeds are going to forget about all the parents at the board meetings and it's going to be DeSantis and Trump. So y'all got to beat this. y'all got to do something to beat this announcement.
We're already out of the news cycle.
Listen, Nicole, at the next meeting, okay? At the next meeting, I want to see you like a Vegas showgirl with a big feather headdress walking up to the podium, okay? Like, I need you to pull out all the stops, girl. Okay,
or should I wear a uniform that says something to FBI? Here I am, because it isn't a parent on the watch list just because we're mad at a school board meeting.
If you want a shirt, I got you. I can make you a badass shirt.
Yep. Oh yeah, I might need a badass shirt.
We can make you a shirt. We made we made shirts for the Temecula school board parents. Yeah. But if you need
you guys?
Yes, that was us.
Sweet.
If you need a custom triggering shirt, listen, she specializes in triggering.
See this? It says being a woman is not a feeling, and I have said it. Uterus, fallopian tubes. Women get mad when they see this. They're like, not all women have uteruses, but you were born with one. Whether it works or not is another story.
Yeah.
Anyways, I want to thank you, Nicole. This was a really, really great discussion. And I hope that this encourages other people to like be involved, like you're being involved, and speak out. That we get more parents from other school districts going, hey, this is happening over here too. Can you guys highlight us? Like if that applies to you, contact Sudi and I. We're your posse. We'll put you on. We'll let you speak.
I really appreciate that you did that and gave us that opportunity. It is, you're right. I mean, it's not a sexy topic. It's not sexy. And but it's your kids. And yeah, the secrets. Hey, that gal Deanna that was on there, she literally was abused as a child, sexually abused, shared her pain. They were jeering because they didn't know what was coming. I bet they felt like asses when they heard the words that came out of their mouth. I hope they did. And then when that, she literally said, and I've been trying to tell my children no secrets because she was told, keep it a secret. And she said, and you're undoing everything I've tried to teach my children. You should be left with that, people. Like, this is literally real stuff. Trauma.
Yeah. Yep. It really is. It really is. Well, thank you so much. You're welcome to stay. You're welcome to stay. We're going to talk about, I'm sure Suni's going to talk about some stuff. She's going to bring up some topics. You're welcome to stay for those topics. If you need to go, you can go as well. You're welcome. You're welcome to close out the show with us, but we like to close it out with a bang. Suni, listen.
I'm always like look, Suni's gonna say this. It's like you have to prepare people for the blow.
Happen. If you need a bang, I can get on the treadmill because I'm not very coordinated. I could something could happen.
She's over there
hilarious.
Shadow boxing on the treadmill.
I know. I was like, I should have brought my boxing clothes. I didn't know Suni and I were gonna go make head to head there for a minute. Okay, it was all good.
Oh yeah.
Hey, right. I'm understanding. I'm much more understanding now, right? Everyone's fight is not my fight. And nor do I want it to be. I want there to be people fighting on multiple fronts. But there's an occasional time where I just run into, like when someone's dishonest, that's when I'm like, all right, it's go time. You're sitting here lying to me. Let's go. Yeah. But you're not dishonest. You're like, dude, I get it. And I respect this. Rather than, that's not what the Bible says. Now, if you were to do that, this will be a completely different show. But you're chill. I like when people are chill, man.
Yeah. She does. Suni's chill until you piss her off. Like me, I'm just like, Suni's like, Mo, you got to get online. I'm about to go in on somebody. And I'm just like, but I'm just happy in my peace. And I'm going to go eat out. And, I
have a really good imagination. And believe me, I must have done so many miles. I've about killed myself because I have not been athletic for a long time. Those people pissed me off so bad. I got on my bike and I biked all the damn way around this town and 6 ways from Sunday. And I was still pissed. And so I did more. And then I came home and walked the dog because I feel like I am a fighter, but I'm not a fighter. But I do have a couple brothers, so I could probably take someone if I need to.
Yeah.
I'm about getting tried on my every last nerve.
Yeah. We all get in the fight a different way. That's for sure. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm just like, boom, I'm here. What's up? What are we doing?
You can back burner me and you girls do your thing and I'll listen.
Yeah.
Thanks
for coming on.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Bye. Bye. All right, Suni.
Can we talk about Donald Trump Jr.? Are you ready?
He annoys me.
He annoys you too?
Yeah.
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene already made an ass out of the Republican Party. I mean, the GOP, right? Yeah. She decided to support a beer company that already supports the LGBTQ. But then Donald Trump Jr. comes out and demands an end to the boycott over partnership with trans influencer, right? And praises them for donating more to the GOP than to the Dems. I'm leaving this alone. I think you should probably too, because they actually donated a lot of money to us. What?
Wow. You're kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. No, not at all.
I think you should probably... What? I'm like reading this. I'm like, wait a minute. Let me read the small print.
Look, this is what he said. Verbatim.
Lord.
Donald Trump Jr. said that the boycott should end because Anheuser. Okay. Bush, the parent company, donated to Republicans and conservative causes and not the BLM crap. So because they gave us money, let's just go ahead and leave them alone and let's not care about it. Yeah.
I'll take bought and paid for. Right. Yeah. He's bought and paid for. Look at that.
This goes right into what I said before.
Yes.
Conservatives are in the business of fighting for children. That's great. But when you turn your nose up at Mr. Beast and then you have a political candidate, a candidate child, Donald Trump Jr. say, well, guys, let's just turn down the heat because they gave us money. So their transgender promotion, like, just chill, because these transgender supporters gave us conservatives money. This is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Continue conceding ground,
Yeah.
and see where you end up.
Yeah.
We're gonna be talking about maps in the next 3 years if people don't get their shit in the gear.
Yeah. Yeah. How much? Somebody said how much. Do you know how much they donated? Did it say in the article?
They didn't say in the article, and honestly,
Probably a ton.
I didn't even look.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say. So they literally don't care. Okay. Last cycle, their employees and their PAC gave about 60% to Republicans and 40% to Democrats. That's literally almost unheard of in corporate America, where it's really easy to go woke, where they do so constantly, where there's a consequence to actually being conservative. So 60-40 to the conservative side is kind of a big deal. Like, nigga, what?
But
They
okay,
gave us 20% more. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I'm telling you, money's the root of all evil. This came from the Daily Mail?
Yes.
Huh. Did he like, I don't know. Listen, you know what? I'm just sick of it. I don't even want to. You know me, dude. Like, this is all a game. If you guys don't realize that this is all a game and you have to play along, otherwise, the advertisers and the donators are going to X you out. They're going to cancel you. You're sadly mistaken if you think it's easy for people to actually take a stand in this world and be able to survive, because it's just they can't. They
Here,
can't.
I'll
They
show you
can.
I'll show you a source that makes you feel even better. Fox
I know.
News reported on
See,
it.
no, that doesn't make. What do you mean it'll make me feel better? I don't even like Fox News. But you know what? Okay, let me talk about this. Okay, quick, bring that. Is it a video? Because it just disappeared. So pay attention. And I don't know anything about this guy, Vivernick.
Yeah.
This guy that was in the picture right here. Okay, Vivek. Okay. So I first heard of him from Candace Owens interviewing him on her channel. I asked Liddell about him, actually. Liddell said he's a good guy. But you know what? Just because Liddell says he's a good guy, I don't buy it. I find it extremely suspicious that people that I've never heard say the name Vivek, I don't even know who the hell Vivek is, what he's about. All of a sudden, everybody seems to know who Brother Vivek is, and I just feel left out. And I'm just like, see, this is another manufactured. It's kind of like the Anthony Trimino, right?
Ready?
Remember?
No,
Yeah,
it's
go
bigger
ahead.
than that. Are you ready?
Yeah, yeah.
Where the fuck did Obama come from?
Right. Nobody knew who. Oh, I know, right? Nobody knew who Obama was until everybody.
And he became what? El Presidente.
El Presidente.
Don't be surprised if this guy is the president in the next 8 years? I don't think they're going to give DeSantis a run. I do not see the GOP giving DeSantis a shot. I just don't. I don't. I see Trump getting this nomination and maybe this guy in the years to come. I'm just saying, you have to compare. Republicans do exactly what Democrats do. They just flip it and mirror it. They copy each other.
Yeah.
So where did Obama come from?
Right. No, it's true. It's true, but I just find it suspicious, you know. It's like the Obama, it's like the Anthony Triminos, right? That everybody started talking about Anthony Trimino. He's the best thing since sliced bread. You have to vote for him. And then all of a sudden, together, they were all like, "Oh, never mind. Anthony Trimino wasn't as great as we thought."
Never mind.
Forget we endorsed him. Let's just pretend. Let's just keep on moving. They did the same thing with DeSantis, right? They turned on Trump, and then they were like, DeSantis. And then DeSantis started to act a little funny. And then Trump started to be a little bit more badass. And then they were back on the Trump train. And now they're like, DeSantis. They got all these facts about DeSantis and how he's corrupt. We've been saying that. Forever.
But when we said it, oh, you guys are dividing the party. Stop it. Stop this
divisiveness. Like this guy that over the weekend, the guy that was a whistleblower on. He whistleblowed a bunch
Oh
of
yeah,
information on Discord.
Pentagon. Yep.
Some Pentagon information. And what did I say to you, Suni? I said he exposed that the whole Ukraine thing is a big old joke, and like they're not really winning the war. Haven't we been saying that? But because some dude dropped a photo on Discord, all of a sudden it's like breaking news.
Haven't we
attention,
been
man.
saying that there have already been American boots on the ground over there? Have we not said that?
Yes.
All he did
we
was
have been.
expose what people already knew. And now people are
Mhm.
like, oh my God. The same people that were like, man, what's happening in Ukraine is wrong. They're killing people.
Right.
Bro,
Right.
it's serendipitous, bro. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I just need to like be dumb like everyone else and not say nothing until everybody else says it. And then I'll be cool. Because
Yeah.
people will be like, oh, well, Suni exposed that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Dude, should I just dumb it down?
You know what though? It's that the news cycle moves so fast now that people
Yeah.
forget like what they heard. Like you just said, Obama. Like
Yeah.
when you said it, it connected. But I'm sure people forget. Nobody knew who Obama was.
Nobody knew who he was. He just popped
Hence
out of
why,
nowhere.
right? Hence why. What was it? Like some driver like came out and said that he like dropped Obama off at some like gay club or something or some drug house. I don't remember what the story was, but even he said he's like, I didn't know who this dude was. Like it didn't seem like a big deal to me at the time.
Gosh, I'm just saying. Nobody knew Trump. Yeah, that's not true. Trump has always been around. Trump has always been known, and Trump has always been instrumental in politics, culture. Period. Nobody knew who the crap Obama was.
Right.
Nobody knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's pro-Russian propaganda. I remember that too. Like, oh, you're being fooled, Suni. Look at you. Did you see the tank that ran over a Ukrainian car? But it turns out it was the rebels who ran over a car because they don't know how to drive it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Or how about Putin wants all of Ukraine? No, Putin wants the Donbas region, which are ethnically Russian anyway.
Mm-hmm.
How about the fact that Zelensky cut off their water source? No, we don't want to fix that. No. We want to save the poor Ukrainian people that are walking around. Do you remember all the people who were posting videos like, dude, I'm walking around just like it's normal.
Yes.
What war are you talking about?
Right. Or how about the live feeds of Ukraine? And like on Instagram, it was like one video after another of like plumes of smoke coming up in the sky. Yet I was looking at a live feed camera of Ukraine and it's like birds chirping, skies blue. There's not like a plume of smoke in sight. And I'm like, where are these pictures coming from?
For real.
I don't see no fires.
Or the fact that these rebel groups have been shelling this region forever.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Zelensky is in a freaking train station with Dave Letterman giving an interview for his Netflix show. The train's going by. And I'm like, they're making fools of us out in plain sight, man.
Hey, man. Democracy.
What you got up here?
So I wanted to ask you about this to get your opinion. So, I felt conservatives were promoting Dylan Mulvaney. And we talked about this briefly on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, we already know what he's doing is wrong, right? We're running beer over. We're recording it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're constantly posting this dude like, look.
Right.
You're promoting it, right? And what made it even worse was, this is what I said, all these conservatives sharing angry thoughts about Decepticons being promoted is strange because you give the Decepticons on the right a pass. And I said Blair White, Lady MAGA, and the MAGA drag queens. I don't know if people know this, but there's an entire section of MAGA drag queens that make a mockery of reading, like story time with children, right? They say they're showing the absurdity of it, but they literally have access to the youth. Literally.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it okay in this instance?
Yeah.
But it's not okay in that instance. Like it.
Because they have a MAGA hat on, Suni.
Like, make this make sense. And the whole Mr. Beast thing just brought it all into perspective for me. I'm like, nobody can deny this now, dude. You just can't.
Right. Right.
I watched somebody
Yeah.
in the chat say, well, Ryan is against all this, Lady Maga. Ryan
Mhm.
is not against it because Ryan is cross-dressing.
Mhm.
Either way you look at it,
Yeah.
which is showing another young man, because I've had Ryan on my show, right?
Mhm.
And I straight asked him, what do you say to kids when they, walk up to you? Well, I just told them that I'm having fun and that it's okay for people to dress up in costume. Do, do you not find that to be as sinister as the left when they're just openly saying, dude, I want to indoctrinate your kids. Yeah, I feel like
Right.
you're a bigot. You have
Right.
this guy that's like, well, no, it's fun. No, it's not.
Right. And what about all those times Lady Maga, and by the way, Lady Maga is the one with the gun in her hand,
Yeah.
or his hand. Suni would kill me if I said her. His hand. All the times that he's dressed up like a Disney princess, right?
Yes.
Like that's directly targeting children. That's not targeting adults. Adults,
Right.
like, well, a normal adult really doesn't care about a Disney princess, but like obviously you're dressing like a Disney princess to bring kids over to you. So when people come with their kids to these events, they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, look, it's a Disney princess. Forget that there's a dick under that
There
dress.
you go.
Forget that there's a dick under the dress. Princess, right?" Hey, I want to ask everybody's opinion because there was like a rumor, speaking of Dylan Mulvaney, that Ben Shapiro is Dylan Mulvaney. What do y'all think?
That
What
is
I
freaking
mean,
hilarious. I remember when I
it's
first saw that.
it's uncanny,
They're like, conspiracy. We've never seen Ben Shapiro and Dylan Mulvaney in the same room ever.
right? I mean, honestly, like people are like literally making like videos about this, but I mean, look at this, you guys.
It's kind of,
And
all right, take that shit off. Ugh, I can't
take this
stand
shit.
that
Okay.
dude.
I have a theory about this Dylan Mulvaney because I'm just like, it's getting too outrageous how he's
Mhm.
how he's behaving.
Yeah.
Like with the crying, like on the floor with Drew Barrymore on her show. It's just like it's almost like he's just like feeding off the fact that we're just like completely outraged by the way he's behaving and all these endorsements that
Mhm.
he's getting. And I just sit here and I'm like, maybe this dude was like paid. Like maybe they were like, "Hey, we're going to give you a fat check. Just put a dress on, put some lipstick on and act like a chick and just say really crazy shit to just outrage people because
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like it doesn't seem too far-fetched to tell you the truth. That's my theory
Mhm.
on this Dylan Mulvaney person.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't disagree with you.
You think he's a
I
real
don't.
Decepticon?
Yes. I do. Um, I don't think it's an actor.
Mm,
I think that people don't understand where we are in life and what's truly being accepted as truth. Like, I think we had this conversation. If you think for a second corporations walk around with this morality clause in the back of their mind when they're like looking at what's generating money and what's not, we do it as influencers. We need to hop on what's trending. They're
mhm.
hopping on what's trending. Okay. They're understanding that now the focus is somewhat still on blacks, but now we're targeting this group, right? Because a
Right.
couple years ago, it was Nike, all these other corporations were doing everything with black, 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 black. Well, now it's
Right.
their turn.
Right.
They care about money, bro.
Mhm.
They don't care about anything outside of that. So do I think this dude is a paid actor? No, I think they're exploiting him and his mental condition and they're getting money out of it. And when they're done with him, he will have success because there are other corporations and news media groups that are going to pick him up, but they don't care about what happens to him afterwards. Thank you, Mike. This all has to do with the geopolitical realm, which people find kind of boring. Okay, I get it. But the UN and the ESG scores and the 17 SGDs, which are Sustainable Development Goals, this is what these corporations are adhering to. If you don't like listening to me talk about this, you can watch Glenn Beck. I tell people to spend that $10 on Blaze TV to actually look at what's happening because it's boring to mo, but the geopolitical realm is lit, dude. All the stuff that's going on there is crazy. Crazy.
See, what Suni considers lit and what I prefer to hear from Suni what's going on. because she does a very good, like, a snippet of what's going on versus me having. I'd rather listen to 8 hours of a school board meeting than listen to that.
How boring is that?
I know, but I feel like I have more control over the school board meeting than I do ESG scores.
I have more control. I did. I used to do shows on this back to back to back. You guys can go look at my old content. I know it was boring to some people, but it's what corporations are doing, and they're infusing it into society, which is what Nicole mentioned. It's socially engineering people to view things a certain way. That's all it is.
Yeah.
All it is. It's money.
You're so smart, Suni.
Thank you.
Not that
I
I'm not
appreciate
smart. Suni asked me the other day, maybe I should do this. You gotta send me the link so I can take
Oh, the IQ test?
my IQ test, because Suni was like, hey, what's your IQ, Mo? And I was like, I don't know. I never taken an IQ test. I'm like, it's probably not real high. Just because, not because I'm dumb or anything like that, but like, I don't know. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I don't know what the IQ test really involves. I don't know what the IQ test
It's just
really
a lot of
involves,
problem solving. Like,
Oh.
it's a lot of visual problem solving on, like, if you were to have two different patterns and they want the pattern to look this specific way, right?
not
How
good
would
at
you
that.
have to turn?
No. See, I can already
It
tell you right
is-
now. It's a wrap for you, baby. Listen, I don't do that. My daughter probably would do great with that because she's great with that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Like, just give me the freaking problem. Don't try to trick me visually with shapes and all this shit. Just give me a problem and I'll solve it.
Oh
Okay,
my
but
gosh.
don't try to like visually mess with my mind. I don't like that. Like, that just makes me tune out.
Right, but that's how you notice, like, behaviors, though, and, like, the slight shift. That's how you
No.
can notice that.
Listen, I dated a lot of guys, and that was all the practice I need to notice slight shifts in behavior. Just get out.
Oh
Just
my
get out.
God.
Ladies, just get out there and date. Okay. You will become an expert in shifts of behavior. Have kids. As a mother, I'm a professional investigator.
Yeah, but
I'm a woman.
Can you imagine being able to, like, view that on a massive level, just watching society and trends? It's even better.
You're such a nerd.
No, I'm not. That is, like, I feel like that's cool for anybody. I don't know. I like psychology. I like watching
Yeah.
people take. That's funny.
Listen, to each their own.
She thinks I'm boring, guys.
Yeah. I like to sit outside and watch what's going on in my neighborhood and then try to figure out like what couple on the street is having drama.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I would sit on the porch with you.
That would be
I could try to figure it out with you, but it wouldn't be fun now.
how
But
fun
I would
would
definitely
that be?
participate.
That would be so fun. You and me on a porch, just like talking.
The
About
amount of
everybody?
laughs. To be like, what are they talking about?
Dude, we would be hilarious.
Listen, my hair was fly 3 days ago. All right.
Whew.
I did my hair and I went outside and it turned back into a fro. This is what I mean. Y'all got to stop shaming Black women, bro. We can't help the texture of our hair. It doesn't agree with tropical environments.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm not Asian.
And what makes it worse is a Black man shaming you for your hair.
I know.
What happened to protect Black women, Liddell?
Gosh.
Oh yeah, we got to go sit on Red Pill's porch because she has chickens and we can hard boil the eggs.
Nah,
We can
Red
eat some
Pill
eggs.
got the green ganja. That's the
Oh,
only thing I don't care about the chickens. All
That's
right.
what you care about.
You
But
want to
she
go
will-
play with the chickens.
No, I don't. I want to eat the eggs and then we can slaughter a pig because I can have some pork ribs.
Slaughter a pig.
I want to eat some fresh pork ribs. Okay.
God.
Well, I've already made the decision that Red Pill's house is where we're all going when the shit hits the fan, and like we need to survive off the land. She's got it all.
Yes.
I already told her.
We're going to Auntie Red's house.
Yeah.
We're going to
There's
pull up
something
in the
there for
Sprinter.
everybody. In the Sprinter.
Don't
We pull up in a
Sprinter.
big old. We pull up in a big old van and like a bunch of people just pile out.
It has to be. We have to do something with like specific influencers and just kind of show up to different events and have fun, dude. You know how fun that
Yes.
would be?
We have been
That would be
talking about
so
it. We need to
fun.
rent a tour bus and just go city to city.
We got to bring Bluntman too. It won't be a party unless Bluntman is
Oh,
there.
he's so triggering though.
I love it. Yo, it's funny.
See, like I want to have fun. Like I don't want to bring people that are going to get us kicked out of places. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh. We're not
Yes.
going to get kicked out.
You guys, we had the best conversation one night. Like it was two different conversations, but like Suni and a bunch of the guys like said, and I can't remember who else was in that conversation, but they were all having this like debate on if we had like a WWE, like a boxing match or a fight or
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
but it was like conservatives, like who would you want to box? You know, like who would box
Yeah.
who?
We need to
And it was
set that up.
we need to set that up like a real life match, like a UFC match.
Uncle said he's driving the bus. I could take that because you're a police officer, and Uncle said is going to make sure we don't get pulled over.
And Mo's gonna be the cute girl with like the sign that's like whatever it is that they would do. Because I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight anybody unless who was it that I said I wanted to fight? Was it M Benz? Is that the one
No.
I wanted? No, I
We
wanted
said
to
we would
fight
tag team
Nacho.
her.
Nacho.
Mama. Nacho
Nacho
Auntie, I'm
Mom.
sorry.
Nacho Auntie is who I wanted to fight.
She
But then-
follows me from a completely different page.
Oh Lord, that's psycho.
I saw her and I'm like, dude, that's Nacho.
But then we said, what if we did like a survival show, like the Naked and Afraid type show?
That would be so
Like,
funny.
Who would you want to be? Who would you want to be like your
Oh
survival
yeah,
partner?
give our team. We're giving our team.
First of all, Sudi was like, we're having no girls. And I was like, well, we're two girls, obviously. But I'm like, we need to have Red on the team because, you know, she's got like the agriculture skills, right?
Yes.
So we need her there. And then I feel like, who was the other female that we needed? Was it did I say Candace? Because
you
she
did
would
say Candace.
But why did I say Candace Owens? I said Candace Owens because
I don't know. I think it was like for discussion purposes.
right.
No,
she'd be like, okay.
Candace is going to be delegating of what we're supposed to be doing.
Right. She would be like, okay, guys, so this is what we're going to do. Okay. You're going to do this. You're going to build a campfire. Okay. Because if you don't build a campfire, then this is just not going to get warm and we're going to freeze to death. Okay. Okay. Like that was going to be Candace. Then, of course, we needed Ced because the muscle, you know what I mean? We need protection. We need Liddell because he's going to set up an infrastructure quickly.
Yes. We said Tatum.
MAGA Hulk. Tatum. Oh, for sure, Tatum. We just need a bunch of like good looking big men for most purposes. So I could just look, you know what I mean? So I could just be like,
yes,
sitting by the campfire.
Do you know how good we would be living, bro?
Listen,
we would win the whole competition. Listen,
we sure would.
Whoever is into producing, bro, you guys need to produce like spin-offs of conservative versions of these. Get these huge influencers on these shows and have fun. Like, why don't we have something that we do with survival? Why not?
It would be so good.
That would be fun.
It would be so good. First of all, Liddell, okay, I get that. But if we were like in a survival situation, I have to do everything I can to survive. Okay, which means I need to keep my mental state good. And this is a conservative, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is an influencer type show. So obviously he's not going to be there. So I got to make do with what I got. Like, I never said I was going to step out or anything like that, but I'm just thinking in my head, if you're going to be in a struggle situation, it helps to have good men to look good looking guys, right? Like, right?
He said no.
No?
Are any military men invited? Yeah. No, we don't all get to cuddle when it gets cold. That's why, listen.
You see?
No.
Listen.
See, I'm not coming.
Why not?
I don't want people touching me. I know how to get warm in a blanket. That's what we bring in sleeping bags for.
Look at Ced's going to be upset because everybody's going to be struggling with their pedicures. Where'd she go? I'm trying to put in the link here so Ced can, or if you want to join this discussion. I can't put it in here though for some reason.
No, we did not cut off.
My keyboard has officially died. So if you want to post the link to anybody who wants,
has died.
This is what happens. It's over. What are you gay?
Over. I want you to see this. I want you to see this. You have to react to this.
Yes, Birdman. Military men are invited. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
Preferably people who are on the
Muscular.
flight line or dealing with any sort of troubleshooting on a vehicle, because they know how to go take that stuff out into nature and create anything.
Yeah.
Dude, I love watching my husband build something when we go camping and then we use it.
It's
Freaking
hot.
love it.
Yeah, it's hot. I'll do all the cooking because, listen, Sudi can't cook because she's too picky, but I will cook.
Why not?
You're picky, dude. Nobody wants the picky one to cook. I'm going to make like a bomb ass meal out of like some cockroaches, some ants, whatever it is.
Oh
we go
my
be
gosh.
good.
Okay. Say I'm done with you. Cockroaches and ants. No, ma'am. All right. You ready? You hear that? This is a church.
Let me stay back. I told you give me a minute and
wait, it gets better. Wait.
Got the princess in my dungeon. They said that I couldn't.
See how you bopping your head?
So sick and filthy.
I can't. Spin it.
Shimmy out.
Yeah, everybody. What?
I think I'm getting too much money. Everybody, man.
As we were saying, Dragon, this is what you need to do. Step 1, find you a baddie. Okay. But step 2, he gotta have a fatty. Hey.
What?
Hey.
Yeah.
Look back at it.
Uh-oh.
What is she doing? Friends, I don't have a fatty. Girl, we keep telling you it's okay. Your little booty matter too, friend. Y'all know they don't be discriminating.
Wow.
That is a church?
That is a church.
Okay, admittedly so, like when the song was playing, I'd be that person in church and be like, hey. Okay. And Sudi would be like,
but wait.
Sudi be looking at me. That is taking it too far, though.
Now, would you leave the church thinking, thank you, Jesus, for the ultimate sacrifice? Would you do that?
No. I'd be like, that was a lit service.
I think I'm getting too much money. I'm gonna be getting in the car. Nah, Diva is a female. Like, they're not leaving that church thinking about Jesus, bro.
No, they're not.
They're not.
They're not.
You got to tune into the live I'm going to be doing on Instagram, because there was a pastor, a street evangelist that I might add, that decided to challenge me on this and ended up making himself look completely retarded. So I'm going to go back for a part 2, and I'm going to bring the same conversation back, but ask him, how did those people leave that church feeling? Was it edifying? Did they learn? Do they understand Jesus a little bit more? Or did they leave that church turned? Like, which one was it?
They were turned. Yeah. But why are you talking about booties in church?
If Mo is saying this, I know I'm not crazy.
If Mo is saying this, because I don't know whether to be offended or to be
you give more leeway than I do, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'm the fun one.
You give far more grace than I do. But you're like, bro, what? If Mo is saying, what? Wow.
Look at Red Pill. She's looking very slim and un-Lizzo-like. I said you're looking slim.
Listen, all these pillow talking boys got my name in their mouth. We can't help it.
Oh Lord,
they gonna hate.
What's up? What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I am really shocked that you are big booty Judy and all the big booty stuff. You don't want the booties in church. I'm proud of you.
No, let's take it too. But listen, even I have standards. There's a place for booty, and it's not at church. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. You gotta be. There's a time and place for that, and that's not church.
I don't. Somebody keeps telling me they keep bringing that up as a retort to my criticism, right? I would love to see it. Like, you can send it to me, but this is just a response to people. I don't really care of what he came in and said after the fact, because none of those people are leaving with what he said after the fact. There's a reason these viral clips are viral clips, because the only thing we're paying attention to is you had Homecoming as an entire soundtrack to a resurrection play. Every person who's ever grew up in a black church, we know what the resurrection play is. Every Easter Sunday, we have the same story taught to us, bro. You could have went and reached out to Corinne Hawthorne, who is an amazing gospel artist. You could have reached out to Bryson Gray, Carrying the Light. What is it? Rapper like Cece, the kid that just dropped. You got freaking, what's his name? Bizzle. You have so many artists you could have reached out to and been like, hey, look, we got this resurrection play. Let's put together a lit set with a Christian message behind it, but you decided to go reach out to the world. I would love to see what he said. I want to see what he said, but that's going to be my response to people who bring it up.
Yeah.
Listen, Kurt Carr, if you guys haven't heard Kurt Carr, like seriously, his In the Sanctuary will get anybody moving with the Holy Ghost.
I'm going to have to look at it. Kurt Carr?
In the Sanctuary.
Okay. With a K or a C?
Group chat, Holly?
With the K.
Okay.
In the Sanctuary will get it popping. Today we went to eat with our pastor, and me and my husband were listening to it in the car. That will get you moving. But it's just about praise and worship. We ain't talking about worshiping no booties. That's what's wrong with culture right now.
Yeah.
They're worshiping booties too much.
Yeah. It is. It is. Hey, real quick, who would be on your survival team? Chime in on this. Who do we add to the group?
Well, you said, but I knew that said was the one who made that comment. I'm just saying, ladies, bring socks if you got cute feet.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you got ugly feet, said ain't messing with you anyways.
Yeah.
I would say Liddell.
Yeah.
Liddell said MAGA Hulk for sure. Bryson to give us the daily bread with the word.
Yes.
And
entertainment. Listen, all I'm thinking about is having a good time. Y'all looking at survival, and I'm just like, hey, we got to have a good time, because it's all about our mental. You know what I mean? We got to be in a good mental space.
Listen, I think, we got to bring strong people out, and then we got to have people who could cook. I think Sunni's very picky. We would be eating some shit that I don't know.
And so is
Sunni.
Bryson.
It'd probably be like lima beans and shit.
Right.
Mo, I'm not fucking with you in the cockroaches. I'm not fucking with you. I'm gonna go kill a wild something.
Well, you know what?
We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, if you're out there, you and I can team up for sure, because you're going to be like, hey, we could do this. You know how to do all the stuff. And then I can get in the kitchen and put a little like sazon on it. You know what I mean? Like, you put a little seasoning on it. But Bryson and Sunni, we're going to put them at another table, because all they're going to want to eat is, they're going to be like, where's the French fries and chicken nuggets? There's none. Get over it.
No, well, we got to have a noodle maker, because Sunni loves her ramen.
Oh, that's true. We need a noodle. We need to find a way to make noodles. Damn. But who else do we? What other people do we have though on the team? Okay, so we got Sed Liddell. I think we need Ryan Tillman, the light skinned wonder. We need him. Breaking barriers.
I'm taking Birdman.
Birdman? Oh yeah, Birdman. Yeah. Because he's strong. He's built.
Yeah, he's
military.
Built and he knows how to use a weapon.
Yes, absolutely.
Holly can help with the garden.
Yeah.
We got to bring Shekinah. Shekinah cooks.
Oh, yes. Because
we're adding too much estrogen into this equation. There's just too much estrogen.
Listen,
we got to compete. So we can't be like, they got to compete against us. We have to like show that women cannot survive without men.
I named hella men.
Yeah, we have a lot of men, Sudie.
There's too many girls. We have to split these teams up.
Oh, SUNY doesn't want to have any women.
Just 2. That's the max.
I
Yeah,
think
but
we
at
would
this,
actually be good with Bryson, spiritual leader. We got Said. We got MAGA Hulk. We got Liddell. Liddell is not only a manly man, but he's also funny AF.
yeah.
Listen, we might go out there and die, but Liddell is going to keep us laughing the whole time with this.
Yeah. I
So we
agree.
might go out there and die.
I
And
agree.
Suni said us Cowboys fans are like cockroaches, so you know me and Liddell, we going to survive.
Oh, Lord.
See, look at this is what I was afraid of right here. We need enough women for the men. Don't want to be sharing. You see?
Oh, my gosh.
You're first of all, Birdman, you're assuming that these women are for the men. Mo said she was going to be looking at what was out in the fields, you know, working and doing all this stuff. I never said anything was going to happen. Okay.
This show has already gone dark. We
Down
haven't
the
even
rails.
started it yet.
Yeah, it's going
Look
down
at
the hill,
you.
straight down
All
the
you
hill.
degenerates on here thinking about nasty stuff. We ain't even talking about that.
Here you go. Birdman said we'll cuddle with you. He could be the little spoon.
So it's gonna be like, nope.
Oh, that's so funny. Anyways,
First,
that's a fun discussion. What'd you send me?
nothing. I meant to send it to myself so I can watch it before I go live.
Gotcha.
Apparently
Well, is
that's
that
his
all we
response.
have? Is that all we have for the show?
That's all we have. Also, this DeSantis thing, now people are coming out and saying it's alleged, it's fake, we don't know. Because he put a running mate on there. I think it was Christy Nome or something like that. Listen.
Oh, God.
We don't know. All I said was, that's why I said be quiet. Be quiet. If Trump reacts, then I will say, okay, this is real. But I'm going to wait and see what happens. Because I think this is funny. I think this is freaking hilarious.
I'm not actually seeing anything that's officially saying that he declared his run for presidency.
How do you spell his name?
Desantis.
Sorry, this is me after a fun night with my friends.
She got litty.
Still on point, though.
You really are. I would not be able to be functioning this well. Oh, good. I hope your daughter has a fun prom. My son had his prom tonight. So cute. You guys, let me just show you. Okay, so my son goes to a school that has very strict policies about the dresses, okay, which I love because nowadays you see these prom pictures that people post and it's a whole like bunch of short ass dresses that barely cover these girls' vaginas. Well, darn, I don't have the group picture. But anyways, I just love that they sent out a policy and they were just like, you guys have to have T-length dresses. They had to have dresses below the knee, nothing above the knee, which is amazing. And the girls look beautiful. They all look so beautiful. They all look so respectful. The guys look like gentlemen. There was no like weird skinny pants, which I cannot stand, that are like 3 inches off their ankles. But yeah,
they're wearing capris.
Shout out to schools with dress code policies for their dances.
Literally what it is.
Yep, exactly.
Well, guys, I cannot wait for the second. We're going to be doing a Tuesday show and a Friday show once again. We're adding a second show throughout the week. Thanks for coming on, Nicole. It was fun.
Yeah.
I need some tacos. That does sound really good. They made some fire steak last night, bro. Okay? And I definitely put it in a taco and smashed it. I sure did.
It was carne asada?
Yeah. I'm about to go cut up some more and put it in the taco and smash it.
Ooh, you have some left over
Are you
too. I'm
jealous?
jealous. I am jealous because I love meat.
Can I eat it in front of you? Because this is what Mo does.
I would
Oh my
love to see
God,
you
this
do
salad
that.
is so good.
Yo, wait. You just made me think of something. Would you guys love it? Okay, because Sudi and I secretly, this is our secret obsession. We like to go to sleep. We love to watch mukbang videos, like of people eating.
It's fun.
They and like eating fish boils or seafood boils and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we both follow this lady called B Loves Life, I think is her name. Dude, she eats like, ooh, when she eats, I'm just like, my mouth, like, again, when I talk about it, my mouth starts to salivate. You know what I mean? Like, you just, like, the salivation starts coming up when I think about other people eating. So one day, Suni and I were like, we should do a show where we just get like whatever our favorite meal is and we just like prop it up here so you guys can see what we're eating. And while we're doing the show, we eat. Would you guys love that?
Dude,
would you guys?
No lie. She sat there eating some fufu in this like African dish. And I was like, yo, I want that. Okay.
Yeah.
One, she made it look good. But she sat there eating for like 15 minutes and didn't say shit. Okay.
Slurping. Yeah.
She didn't talk. And I watched the first 15 minutes.
But the title of the video was like drama with blah, blah, blah. So, of course, you're tuning in to hear it. She ate for a good 30 minutes before she even got into it.
She's
and
like,
you know
"All
what?
right."
Suni doesn't even like to hear eating sounds. And she was like, yeah, and she watches this stuff.
Dude,
so
she made that African food look good. I'm sorry.
Yeah, give us a 1 in the chat if you want us to do like an eating show, like where we're just like chowing down on food, and let us know what you would like us to eat. Now, Sudi can only get things that are in Japan, but she can get like a shrimp burger from McDonald's. I want to see her eat a shrimp burger.
I don't smack. You guys are acting like we're gonna be like, I don't smack. It's just simply eating.
No, I don't smack, but you guys, when I eat, it is like pure pleasure to me. I used to be 400 pounds, so like it's just pure pleasure. Like I'm just like, like I enjoy every bite. So whatever you guys want me to eat, like people are like cringe, hard no. You guys are no fun. I'll eat whatever. I'll even go off the carnivore.
We're gonna do it anyway and watch them all tune in.
Yeah,
and y'all are gonna be like, "What y'all eating over there?"
Yeah,
oh, that looks
you guys
good, Suni.
Yep, you guys are gonna go eat.
You just gotta do it. All right.
Yes.
It's not gonna be like these people that do these ASMRs and they like click the mic. I think that shit's weird. I don't like that. Or like you listening to me chew. No. Because I went, and I know for a fact people are capping. Okay.
Yeah.
Me and Bryson one day went to McDonald's at the very same time, had the very same outfit on, and we were sitting there eating French fries and chicken nuggets, and collectively we had over 60 viewers. So miss me with the BS.
And can I say one thing? That day that both you guys went to McDonald's, I went to McDonald's just because you guys were eating. The way Bryson was eating these French fries, like I could taste like the saltiness of the French fries. I could taste it. Okay. And I was like, I need it now. And I literally went to McDonald's just to get that. Yes, Bryson does smack. Bryson eats and talks at the same time. And then he just drinks water so aggressively. He makes me thirsty. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? When Bryson drinks water, I'm just like thirsty beyond thirsty.
Side. He drinks like a black person.
He drinks like he's like the, and then he's like with the thing all, and you hear everything. You hear him put the cap on. You hear him put it down. He's like this with the water bottle. Oh, drives me insane. But I want to drink like a freaking gallon of water when I watch him drink.
Oh God, Holly said, "Don't mistake our loyalty for interest." Oh.
Come on,
guys.
We try to bring you guys something different. We're trying to bring you guys something different. I know some of you people are secretly foodies and would love to see this. What about some sushi? I can cook up a ribeye steak. But I feel like you guys need something like crunch, like maybe eat tacos.
Maybe this will bring in a completely different audience, Mo.
Maybe we should get African food and we could bring in the Africans.
No, let's keep the Africans where they at. I can't.
Because I love me some fufu and some igusi stew. I love it. That's like my favorite.
One watching / hearing people eat doesn't bother me. Really? I don't know. I find that when you're like having what do you call it? When you're fellowshipping with people and you eat,
Hmm.
it kind of creates this bond between you. It's
Hmm.
like a very, I don't know, eating with someone is a very intimate thing if you ask me.
Yeah,
I think it is.
it is. It is. Okay, wait, real quick. The other thing I'm just confessing to you guys. So the other thing that I love to watch before I go to bed are pimple popping videos.
Oh my gosh. I do that too. I
Listen,
like when
I
they pull the
know that.
earwax out of people's ears.
Ooh, girl. Listen, when I see people popping pimples, again, my mouth waters. Not because I want to like eat it, but I'm just like, I
These
can
people
just
are like,
feel like the pressure that's like the release. You know what I
who are
mean?
we following? I bet you all these people are like, oh.
We go from a serious topic and we're ending your night fun. You guys are going to
Yes.
go Google Dr. Pimple Popper, Dr. Tobro. That's another one. If you like
I don't
feet,
like feet though. That's
yeah,
my cutoff.
that one's nasty. They pull
Yeah, I
out
don't
like
do feet.
hangnails and stuff like that.
Mm-mm. I don't even like when people put I can't stand when my kids put their feet on me. I'm like, first of all, that is so disrespectful. Feet are like disgusting.
Oh, Holly says ear blackhead videos are the best.
I've never seen that.
Ooh, I may have to look that up.
Do you guys ever
That's
watch the carpet cleaning videos?
when they're yes.
Dude, I can sit there and watch that for like a whole hour.
Dude, I follow a cleaning account. It's called Go Clean, Go Clean something on
On TikTok?
Instagram.
Oh,
On
I was about to say.
Instagram. She's probably on TikTok too. But I'm obsessed with her cleaning videos. What is it about that stuff?
I don't know. It's just like mentally. You know what? I don't even think it's mentally satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of intriguing to watch where you get to, I don't know. It's just something about watching something from start to finish.
Yeah.
Like they're like these Asian dudes who live, I don't know if they live in the wilderness, but they create like mini mansions out of mud and make these dope ass pools. You never seen it?
No.
They're like in the middle of the sticks, in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And the entire video, it's of course it's sped up, is them making pools or like building a cool house.
There's something out there
And it's
for
all
everybody.
made out of mud. One of y'all know what I'm talking about. There's these Asian dudes, dude.
Wow.
Those videos, I used to sit there and watch that. Do you want to know what else? You guys
What?
ever heard of Hood Meals? Yo, that's my favorite channel.
You put me onto that. You put me onto that. That one's good.
Dude, I love
Hood Meals.
when he gets up to go make some food. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I hate when they stop the video before it's done.
I used to watch Auntie Fee.
Auntie Fee, yeah.
Oh, dude, her stuff. I would cook a lot of her stuff because that was like, really, you're just gonna come up in the camera?
See,
Auntie,
bro, I know the fact that because people aren't
they know.
understanding what I'm saying. That freaking channel, oh my gosh,
I
love watching those dudes.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
And they like paint. Sometimes they'll paint the mud and go grab a leaf or something that's red, make paint, and they'll paint the whole thing, dude.
What is it called? Mud.
I'm in the jungle.
I'm in the jungle. Okay, I'm gonna add it so I don't forget it.
Bruh. We're putting y'all on game, bro. Just go watch these YouTube channels.
Okay. You're gonna have to send it to me because it's pulling up some weird stuff over here. It's pulling up clips from The Lion King.
It's called Primitive Unique Tool.
Oh, I was typing in "I'm in the jungle."
Sorry. Yeah, dude. They make amazing things, and they look like impoverished, like third world citizens.
Oh my gosh.
I'll have to show you guys one. Just one before we go, dude. Watch everybody be so satisfied.
Okay.
Dang.
We're just waiting for Suni to pull up the mud huts.
Sorry. Do a cooking show when we get together. And it would be me sitting there watching her cook because I'm spoiled like that, all right? When I go home, I don't cook. I'm going to your house to eat.
Underground water slide?
Look at this picture.
We're not the plan?
Yeah.
Listen, pay attention, said Brandon, MAGA Hulk. This is what y'all gonna be doing in the camp. Okay, you're gonna build Mo a pool. Gosh, amazing. The sound?
I know. I like the sound too.
That's like a 30 foot deep pool. What the hell? Stop. Wait a minute. What? What? Yo, how did we get... Peter, I don't ever want to hear you complain about taking out the trash. I'm just watching these dudes dig a pool with their bare hands. Listen, no more complaining. What the hell? How is this possible? I'm in awe.
can't believe you've never seen these videos.
I have never, and now I can watch all of them. This is mesmerizing. How long does this take? Like, do they say how long this actually takes?
I'm sure this took them months to do. He said, I want to do this. He is brave as heck with that old flimsy ladder, bro. He looks scrawny as heck, too.
Like the perfection. I don't see no measuring tools. Like they're doing this by eyesight. These are the people that built the pyramids for sure.
And they're not black. Let's look at that.
What'd you look at? Yeah, because listen, find me the channel. Oh my lord. This is crazy.
It does look like a freaking pyramid, dude. Holy shit.
It's
like
they're
the
not
inside
just
of
like
the pyramid.
digging.
He said 5 years. How far is he going in?
Finally, they drink some water. Damn.
Jeez. See, I didn't even blink.
モテる男になりたいね。バーテンダーさんモテるでしょ。よく
Asian men are not attractive.
They're not. They're very feminine.
Apologies to any Asian men that are watching us and subscribe to our channel. This is a disclaimer. We're not talking about you. Here's my thing. Like, they could be building like a basic pool with just straight walls. Like, they're going all out.
Yeah, dude.
Like, this is what it looks like when you don't have video games, TV, computer. You ain't got nothing else to do. But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, when you don't have a welfare system, this is what it looks like. And who's going to enjoy this? How are they going to fill it up with water? Do they fill it up with water at the end? They fill it up with water?
Yeah.
Stop.
Swear.
Where they hook the hose up?
You can fast forward it a bit.
Oh, they're even working at night. Stop it. With the hands. I can't.
They made us slide.
What? Dude, no! This is a lie. This is not real. This cannot be real. This is not real. This cannot be real. I'm upset. Wait, what? I don't get it. He's putting grass in this? What's going on here? Why is it putting grass? What? Why did you show this to me? That's water slide. How are you not breaking your ass coming down that water slide that steep into like 2 feet of water?
Oh no! I think we just blew Mo's mind.
I have so many questions. See, this is what's gonna happen right now. You're gonna
What?
send me the link to this channel. I'm gonna subscribe, and then I'm gonna take a deep dive into the
Yep.
comments. I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole of researching who
She's
these
gonna
guys
expose.
are.
She's gonna expose it and ruin everything for us.
No, I'm gonna find what I'm really interested in, because here's the thing: like once you commit to watching this, you
Mhm.
can't stop. Okay, and we know how YouTubers get paid. We get paid on watch time and how long people stay. Right? These guys, I know that they're wearing like loincloths and they look like they live in the jungle, but these dudes got to be living fat. Okay, because the time that they're getting people to watch their show, their channel, they got to be making mad money. They don't talk, so they can't get demonetized. They're not showing nudity. There's nothing
Nope.
offensive here. They have
Nope.
got it made. How many subscribers do they have?
Let me see. 6 million. 6.06 million. And this video was uploaded 10 months ago and it got 4.5 million views on it.
Listen, I guarantee you those dudes get out of that hole in the ground that they just dug and hop into Bentleys and drive to where's this
Oh, for
at?
sure.
Yeah, these guys are rich. They have to be. Thanks a lot, Suni. Thanks a lot. Now I'm gonna be obsessed with this.
Hey, you guys just go support, right? Go subscribe. Just because I like this channel. Also, if you want another channel, like real rap, look at this, bro.
Jungle survival.
Bruh. I love Foresty Forest, dude. If you don't know who this is, you are missing out on life. This guy is a van dweller and he hikes summits and he
Oh.
documents it all, right? And he does a cooking portion within his van with this a pressure cooker, and sometimes he uses a what's the other one where you can put a pot roast in it? A crock pot.
Oh, uh-huh.
He been making pizzas and shit in it, bro.
That sounds good.
I love Foresty Forest. Subscribe.
A pot roast sounds so good right now.
That food that's in my kitchen sounds so good right now.
Dude, I'm
You don't even
hungry.
understand.
That was a good show. That was a good ending to a show. I
Was.
will say though, the sounds of things like digging, it made my teeth hurt. Like my fillings were like tingling. Did I do that to you?
No, why are you so extra? You mean
No,
make
because
your teeth hurt?
I was like envisioning like being at the dentist, and I don't like the dentist, and I was like imagining them like it was the sounds.
No.
I just have to watch it like on a very low volume. But it is mesmerizing and it made me ready for bed. Although I can't go to bed because my son's at an after party right now and I have to be awake.
He's gonna. Fun fact. You guys want to hear a fun story? Of the first time Kyle did something bad, because
Was that a
he's
prom?
like, I corrupted Kyle. FYI, he didn't go home after our prom, and his parents were looking for him all night.
He's with you.
His parents were looking for him all night, and he was sleeping over my house. Now, granted, we weren't allowed to sleep together. All right, I had to sleep on the couch, and then my mom gave them an air mattress and made them a kind of a bed on the ground. But it was so funny when his mom pulled up. I noticed she was probably mortified. Like,
She
who is
pulled up
this?
at your house?
Yeah, because they were looking for him all night.
Oh shit.
And his phone was dead, so nobody. Oh my
Dude.
god. Hopefully Evan doesn't do that to you, but
No, he's
that's what
at
my
a
husband did.
he's at a house party, but like it's not like I think the parents are there or something like that. I don't know. I mean, listen, my prom night, I was at a hotel doing things I should not have done.
Yeah, no, I didn't do that on prom night.
I'm just keeping it real.
My prom night was very mild. I didn't even drink.
Oh,
I didn't do anything.
I was drunk before prom even started.
We had our prom at the Panther Stadium, so it was like a different.
Mm.
No, I didn't drink anything.
We had
Damn, that
ours.
was such a square.
We had ours at Hotel del Coronado, which, if you guys are Marilyn Monroe fans,
That
is where
sounds
they
like a
filmed.
ratchet time.
No, it's where they filmed the movie Some Like It Hot with Marilyn Monroe and Tony Curtis. Very famous movie in California, Coronado. That's where we had our prom. Haunted.
Haunted.
Hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we will see you Tuesday at 9 p.m. for our second addition to the week. And then
Yes.
Fridays, hopefully more parents reach out to us and discuss what's happening in their local school board meetings. I
Buy
want
our
to
merch.
talk to the opposing people of this whole CRT thing in
Yeah.
Temecula, because there's a lot of black people just unnecessarily attacking me, coming left and right. If you go look at my comment section on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
they told me I was shucking and jiving for
Fight
Pastor
back, sister.
Tim. And I'm like, so you're calling me a coon? Like, what are you talking about? Why don't you just talk to me? Like,
Yeah.
see if I'm gonna see if we can get them on. Maybe
But
you're nice. Maybe you can get them to come on.
I can get them to come on, but I'm gonna be like, listen, you can't pull this crime bullshit that you pulled at the school board meeting, because Suni's gonna be like all over you like white on rice. Okay, you're gonna be like ready for you, but you just gonna be open for the killing at that point. I'm gonna be like, don't cry, don't cry. Just say what you gotta say with no tears.
Yeah, dude. Somebody said, "Damn, what kind of rich bougie school did you go to?" Bro, I lived in the hood and went to a nice school. Like, I was just in their district. I went to Myers Park High School.
Who's Jet Smollett?
Get Jet Smollett to come on. Who's that? I don't know who that is.
Or is she talking about Pastor Brian?
Oh no, there's no talking to that dude.
Yeah.
He's afraid. We're like the plague.
By the way, the lady that we had on last week that we invited her son to come on, we also invited her and her liberal girlfriends to come on. Totally
And they
left.
chickened out.
Yeah, they left me and Suni on red. Didn't answer any of our questions. We know she met Pastor Brian that weekend at the event, and I'm sure Pastor Brian said, don't talk to them. They're white supremacists. Suni's a coon. Oh, Jen Reeves.
She blocked me. I mean, but if Mo
She blocked
reaches
me too.
out,
No, she blocked
oh,
me too.
she doesn't want to have a fair and
No.
unbiased conversation. They want people
Yeah.
who are just going to hop on board and believe their story and not question any of it. And that's
Yeah.
that's usually how you tell when people are lying. When you won't even talk to the opposing side to have a
Yeah.
constructive dialogue while sitting there lying and virtue signaling, saying, I just want education to be fair. No, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. These
And this
people
is
are
what's
sick.
funny. So Brandy, her name is Brandy Cocoa. She's one of Jen Reeves's little friends. And she went on Instagram and she was just like, these conservatives, that attack Jen and like vandalize her car. These what do they call us? The Christian nationalists. She's like, why don't you guys, why don't you just talk to us? Like, why do you have to get like violent? That's what she said, right? So I sent her a message and I said, hey, since you offered the invitation, we happen to have a show. Come and talk to us. Not a word.
Exactly.
See, they do all that for show to sound like they're badasses and they're willing to confront us, but they're not.
You're not. Quit faking.
Fake ass bakers.
Anyways.
Yeah.
We had a fun show tonight, guys. Tune in. I'm going to be live on Instagram for a bit to talk about the whole Mike Todd situation. Thank you, Holly, for sending me that response. I will look at that as well and get some like fire tacos.
Yay. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Love you.